at 501-424-0900 or visit online at bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, you want to know what really happened here in Hot Springs? I'm not talking, but there's a guy at 510 Central Avenue in Hot Springs, a wise guy. He'll tell you all you need to know, but not enough to get you whacked. Your hope. The Gangster Museum of America. TGMOA.com.
Experience the rich history of America's first resort at the Gangster Museum of America and the Hattery. Check out the Gangster Museum of America, 510 Central Avenue, 501-318-1717, or visit us at TGMOA.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka presents the 2025 Buzz Spring Golf Tournament, April 14th at the Burns Park Golf Course. Register your 4-person team now at 1037thebuzz.com. Special thanks to Twin Peaks, Michelob Ultra, and Corky's Ribs and
Live
Barbecue.
from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 1037 The Buzz.
Welcome in. What's up, everybody? Wes Moore, Joe Franklin, Out of Bounds, ready to roll on this Thursday. And it was a good Wednesday, Joe.
That's always good to hear.
Brian Edwards and the picks we gave last night?
Yes.
3-0.
Okay.
3-0. I hope our listeners took advantage of it.
So there's that 3-leg parlay that you can live on.
See,
you didn't miss one.
Florida Bama over. Now, granted, it didn't look good, but it ended up at the end back and forth, fouling, layups. It went over. Kansas State +9. I think Kansas State won outright, didn't they? They were getting 9. I think they ended up winning.
Okay. Didn't see many results last night.
And then the Missouri team total over, and we got that one by the skin of our teeth. It was skin of our teeth. It was one of those where Missouri was down like 12, and they would foul Oklahoma, send them to the line. Oklahoma's just try not to foul, layup, foul, layup, foul, layup. And we got 2 free throws at the end of the game for it to go over team total. So 3-0, that was cool. I congratulated Brian this morning for going 3-0, and I knew some of our listeners were happy. A couple of the listeners hit me up on Twitter last night.
Nice.
So they were excited.
That's always a good feeling.
He pays to listen to Out of Bounds. We can win you some money.
It does pay to listen, literally.
Yeah. He already has one for today. And this is because Thursday's a pretty light schedule. There's not a whole lot of national games going on tonight, but there is a good bet. He said, UC San Diego, University of California, San Diego. They're giving up 23 or 24 points. And he says, look, I don't like to give up that many points, but they're going to win by 30 tonight. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'm
if
sold.
he's that confident, you go with it.
Oh, he gave me, Brian. He's got all this data analytics, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. He's like, and they're going to win by 30. Sold. Okay, I'll bet it. So if you're looking for something to play tonight, there you go. Brian Edwards 3-0 yesterday takes UC San Diego minus the 23.5 or 24. Do it now before it keeps on going up. We got coming up on the show Richard Davenport at 2 o'clock. The biggest news really is that Ament, the basketball player, top 5, top 10 recruit, one of the best unsigned recruits still out there, is visiting Arkansas this weekend for the Mississippi State game. He'll be flying in tomorrow night, so we'll get the very latest from Richard about this young man.
Okay. All right. That's encouraging that he's coming in for a visit.
No doubt. I know a lot of people have been thinking Duke, Louisville for this guy, but for Arkansas to get a visit right before he announces, he announces like the following week, so it's either one of those they're going to get a last-ditch effort to try to –
That's what it is. Yeah, for sure.
Or he's already made up his mind. He's just taking a little trip on Arkansas's dime to get to go watch a fun basketball game with Mississippi State Saturday
Why not?
morning.
As a recruit, that's the position you're in. Enjoy it.
Be all about it. Be like, yeah, let's go on a visit. Let's go to Arkansas. They're playing Mississippi State. That'll be a fun game Saturday morning. Take that official visit. Travel, fly around, meals paid for, hotel paid for. Yeah. If I'm a parent of a kid, we're taking all of our official visits.
Mm-hmm. And you get a chance to meet some coaches, coaching staffs, and just kind of see what they're all about. See what the university is about, what the athletics department is about. So It's a fun process for those recruits.
And you never know. Maybe they just sway him and have such a great pitch that they're like, you know what? Change my mind. Got to come to Arkansas. So you got to step up to the plate to at least hit a home run. And speaking of, Kendall Diggs will join us at the bottom of the hour, and he got his first home run yesterday, and that had to feel good for him. I wouldn't say he was struggling because it seemed like he was getting one hit a game, but there were a lot of 1-for-4s. You know, when you go 1-for-4 every time, that's 250. And then you have one game where you go 0-for-3, and then all of a sudden that drops it way down, especially early in the season. And for him to get that yesterday, it had to be a sigh of relief. I loved his his follow through.
He just dropped it?
Just dropped it like Barry Bonds. Somebody tweeted out, so this is like Barry Bonds right here. I mean, he follow through, release the bat at the low point when it's touching the ground, and just drop it. So Kendall's coming up here in about 20 minutes.
Well, you have to know that it's gone to be able to do that then.
That was a no-doubter. It almost – I don't think he hit it high enough. It was more of a line drive. If he had hit it higher, it might have got on top of the Performance Center, the coach's offices, and gotten out of there. But instead, it was kind of a line drive and hit up on the second story, close to the top.
Yeah, because that's what Barry Bonds would do. He would know that it's gone. He'd look at it for a while and then just drop it back.
Well, this is all in one motion. There was no looking at it. It was follow through, bats down, hands behind his back, and just dropped the bat and took off running. Yesterday, Arkansas hit the ball well. The midweek game, look, I don't know anything about Louisiana Monroe. I don't know. Maybe their pitching's terrible. Maybe they're not a very good team, but Arkansas just bashed the ball yesterday and the day before, so that was very good to see, to get 2 run rule wins, scoring double digits in both games, getting a walk-off home run from Kahia Aloy in the first game, which was finished yesterday, and then turn around and hit 4 more home runs yesterday. Kendall hit one. Kahia hit another one, a 3-run shot. Charles Davalon hit a grand slam. They had 2 grand slams yesterday. Kahia's was a 3-run shot. He had 10 RBI yesterday, well, in the 2 games in the midweek. And
it is a midweek game, though, so let's put that in perspective and remember that, it's not like the best talent that they would see across from them.
No, the way I look at it, all right, first of all, it's Louisiana Monroe. Like I said, I don't know. They may be good. They may win the Sun Belt this year, but then again, they may not be any good. And you're seeing the back end of their pitching staff. Their weekend starters, their best 3 pitchers aren't going to throw in the midweek. And then even when you get into the bullpen, depending on how many innings they pitched, the bullpen had to pitch over the weekend, those guys may have not been available. Now, they may have thrown some of their better bullpen guys, but Arkansas, whoever they saw, they were hitting in these 2 games. I think the most encouraging thing that I saw yesterday, even more encouraging than Kendall Diggs' home run, was Nolan Souza's home run to finish it off, to walk it off. Nolan Souza's been struggling. He is maybe their best athlete on the team. He looks the part. He looks like a big leaguer. Just his stature, his size, his muscle. He has a great frame, and they keep saying, the coaches keep saying he's their best second baseman. Like, he is, as far as a fielding goes, he's their best fielder. So they want to give him every chance, and they know he can hit. He's hit in the fall, and he hit in the spring. He's just off to a slow start, and he's looked lost at the plate at times this season, to be honest with you. And for him to get a couple of hits and then to get the walk-off home run, and the way he hit it opposite field. He's a left-handed hitter, and he hit it to left center field, more center field than left, but still he went the other way with it, not trying to pull it, not trying to crush it.
It was just natural.
It was just a natural up-the-middle swing, and Joe, he didn't even crush it. He just hit it well, and that's the power he has. The ball flew well out of the park in center field, left center field. That is exactly what they need. They need Souza to kind of get going and to fortify this lineup, and all of a sudden you get Souza going, you got Diggs going, you got guys fighting to get in the lineup that are hitting. All of a sudden that makes that lineup 1 through 9 very difficult to get through, and they almost scored in every single inning. Now, granted, they only played 14 innings because they walked them off both times, but they almost scored in all 14 innings. That's how well they were hitting the ball.
It's good to put it together and get out of there early. With 2 games like that, you play 2 7-inning games. You get out of there a little bit early and get off your feet. Get ready for the next series coming up this weekend.
That's what and Dave Van Horn said that after the game. He told the guys, look, don't take it for granted the end of the first game that we're going to go out there and knock this guy in. The game's going to be over. Because we could hit 3 line drives and they catch them all, and all of a sudden we're playing in the 8th inning and then the 9th inning. Do what you need to do to get out of this inning and win the game right here. And sure enough, I mean, Vahiva Lloyd was the first one up, infield drawn in. He hit it hard, but it was right at somebody. And they threw him out. Then they intentionally walked the next batter to load the bases. And, if Kahia hits into a double play, they go to the 8th inning. Instead, he hits the grand slam, game over. I think they said it took 6 minutes to complete the game. And then they rolled in the second game, 4 more home runs. So, we were just talking about how I think Souza is that kind of missing piece. It was good to get him going. I got to thinking about the basketball team last night, because what Brazil is doing, for 2 of the last 3 games has been huge for this team. Is he the most important piece for this team here on out? Or is it, you saw DJ Wagner, second half, how good he played, 14 points, the assist. First half, it was Nelly Davis. Nelly Davis carried the team in the first half. Who is that guy? And I'm working off the premise for what we know right now. Mm-hmm. For what we know right now, they got 7 guys. We still haven't heard anything about Adu Thero. If it's these 7, who's that most important guy that's on this team?
I'm going to go with Z. Z we saw where he had a stretch and he was scoring 20-plus points, and they were looking good during that stretch, and then he had a bad showing, and then he comes back and he plays well again. But to have the size that he has, and you can pound it inside to him, depending on what the opponent looks like, if there's not too much size over there, they're not going to be too many teams and players that have the size to match up with Z height-wise. Mm-hmm. But, to have more weight on him, that could be a problem at times. But the fact that you can go to him inside, he can give you something there. He's going to give you something on the defensive end, and then he can step outside and shoot. I'm going there because the versatility you get with him.
I love the freshmen, Carter Knox and Billy Richmond, but I don't want to depend on them. I don't want to say they're the most important piece. To me, they're complementary pieces. And look, with 7 guys, yes, you need all 7. You need all 7 to play well. You don't have to play great, but just need to play well and contribute. But if there's a piece that I think is the most important down the stretch, I got to go with Nelly because of his experience, because of his previous run with Florida Atlantic, for being able to perform in the NCAA tournament. That maybe he can recapture that magic and get something going here in the next 3, 4, 5 games, however many that's left in this season. And it sounds weird to say that because there was a point at this season where we felt like we can't depend on Nelly. And I don't know if I'm still there because there have been a couple of games where Nelly and the rest of the team weren't very good, but he has been better in the last 4 weeks of this season, last 8 games. When during this stretch, Nelly has been a guy that they could depend on more and more. I cannot say that I wouldn't be able to vote on Trevin Brazile. I just still don't have that faith that we can get that same Trevin Brazile night after night after night.
And that was why I went with Z, because to me he's been most consistent.
Maybe, yeah, and even scoring-wise, DJ Wagner hasn't been the most consistent. But when you look at just overall play, he's probably been the most consistent player that's left. You can kind of count on DJ that he's going to get you 10 points, 4 assists, 5 assists. He's going to run the team, and he's going to play really good defense. More than anything, that's what you can depend on him, and probably most of the team. DJ may be the guy right now that I would say is the most consistent kind of flat line type guy, where others are up and then down, up then down, then right in the middle, then up, then you can't really depend on any of them know that they're going to just have a great performance night in and night out. I don't know. I was just thinking about that, and I thought it was something we can discuss. If you want to jump in, 661-1037, talk a little Razorback basketball, 661-1037. D3 Auto Sales text on real quick. 501 says, is it next week? Games are on PBS? Yes, it is. Starts next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The games will be on Arkansas PBS Sports. We'll have all 12 championship games. It's 4 on Thursday, 4 on Friday, 4 on Saturday.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I watched a lot of basketball last night up at the station, just clicking around from state tournament to state tournament, just checking on different scores and different games. And we've had a lot of upsets. Hey, shout out, we talked about it yesterday, but Catholic boys yesterday beating Harrison. That was a nice upset. But in East M, huge. Monty Patel, shout out. Congratulations to them, knocking off of a 1 seed. And tonight in the 6A tournament and today, you're getting down to the nitty-gritty. I mean, you're getting teams in the quarters moving on to the semifinals.
What about girls? You seen the upsets there?
Yeah, lower classifications. There were a lot of upsets in 1A, 2A, 4A, not really. I think all the 1 seeds won in 4A. 5A, Farmington rolled yesterday. 6A, nothing spectacular. I mean, there were a couple like a 4C beat a 3C or a 5C beat a 4C, but it was nothing, we're one of the – but, in 6A, the 1 seeds and the 2 seeds get a bye. They'll be in action today. So we'll get our first look at the Conway girls this afternoon, the Wampus Cats, number 1 in the state for much of the year until they lost to Central. So they'll be in action for the first time. North Little Rock, it's interesting. North Little Rock, both teams are playing today against Harbor. Both boys, both girls, North Little Rock, Harbor matchup.
Both those schools they'll be all in on that. It's also funny how they can change day to day, where you can have a day filled with upsets, and then you can have the next day where the favorites all
chalk
win. We see that on every level of basketball. We see that high school. We see it NCAA tournament every year like that, where it can change day to day.
Zach in Palestine says, let's hope Brian keeps his winning ways alive. He's already got his bet ready for UC San Diego. There you go, Zach. Let's ride that hot streak. TP in Little Rock says, okay, come on, Wes. Let's wait until the Hogs baseball get into conference play, and then maybe you can brag on them. Every year the same old song. I mean, they're number 3 in the nation. They're off to a 12-1 start. Their one loss was against a good Kansas State team. Yeah, we know who the competition is, but still they're doing what they're supposed to do. And yesterday, by run ruling both games, that's impressive. I don't care who you're playing. You still got to get enough hits and runners on base to score that many runs. Hey, with only 7 players, they are all important. Every single guy.
That's true.
Lee says that.
Because we saw the box score from this previous game where every player scored. Every player contributed in a good way.
In 2 of the last 3 games, that's been the case. The midweek game that was Texas. Everybody scored. And all starters scored in double digits. So this is 2 out of 3 games that everybody scored and all the starters have been in double digits. You get contributions like that, then yes, you're able to overcome only playing 7 guys.
Everybody gets a chance, and they get some nice minutes. Not just 5-8 minutes. They're going to get some time. I think this last game, 15 minutes may have been the least amount played.
Yeah, you're right about that. I think that was at Billy Richmond. 501 writes in, will Boogie or the other basketball player, Adu Thero, that is hurt be able to play in the tournament once we make the tournament with their health issues? We don't know. There has been 0 update on Boogie Fland, and the only thing we found out about Adu Thero was he didn't travel with the team to Nashville for the Vanderbilt game, and they all FaceTimed Boogie and Adu Thero after the game to celebrate.
You would only think with it being a couple of weeks away that they would have some time to continue to heal and We don't know exactly what that timetable is, but the more time you have, the better the chances are that they'll be able to play.
I got to think with Thero, with the hyperextended knee, he's got to be close. If he doesn't play this week, I think that's enough time. I would think he's ready for the SEC tournament. And then to give it another week for the NCAA tournament, I got to think he's going to play again this year.
That's a matter of pain tolerance. Hyperextension.
Mm-hmm. Unless there's more damage to the knee that hasn't been reported. All that's been reported is he hyperextended his knee. And I know there are different grades of a hyperextended knee, but, how many games does he miss now? 3? So a week and a half he's been out. It'll be 2 weeks this Saturday. Then another week for the SEC tournament. You're looking at 2.5 weeks, and I got to think he's got a really good chance of coming back. 501 says, I saw the Clinton girls get a win. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that last night. That I wouldn't really call it an upset. Clinton girls are good. I figured going in that was a 50-50 game. And Clinton girls made a run late, I think in the fourth quarter, second half, and came back and won the game. Same with Morrilton. Shout out to them. They were trailing yesterday at the half and for much of the third and half the fourth quarter, and they put together a little rally. Ty Wright, I remember his name from the highlights. Ty Wright came through for Morrilton, and they had a nice run and came from behind and won it in the fourth quarter. So congratulations to Morrilton also. Bobby Joe. What's Bobby Joe? Bobby Joe, good to hear from you. Sweet 16. I'll take Sweet 16 right now. No doubt about it. And I don't think it's a crazy odds to make the Sweet 16. But as we've said a million times, it's all about matchups. If they get matched up in the first round against some team with a bunch of big, thick 6'10" guys that are bullying their way into the basket, I don't like the matchup. But if they got a team that's not a great defensive team that likes to run and gun, I like it. I give them a chance. We saw it with Missouri. Missouri can score with anybody. Vanderbilt can score with anybody. But Arkansas was able to. Texas, they beat them twice.
Kentucky.
What do all those teams have in common?
They can score. They don't really play a lot of defense.
Yeah. Now start taking a look at some of their losses, and it's against teams that will D you up, that are tough. They're focused on defense. That's where they make their money. And Arkansas struggled against those teams. I think we're caught up. I think we're all good. I'll get to the Whit Davis Lumber Plus live fan feedback in a little bit. We got to take a break because we're going to hear from Kendall Diggs. First home run out of the way. Hopefully many more to come this season. Kendall Diggs is coming up next thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. We're just getting started. We got another 2.5 hours. It's going to be a fun show. Glad you're with us. Hang out for a while. It's Out of Bounds.
Live fan feedback on 103.7 The Buzz is powered by Whit Davis Lumber Plus. Whit Davis Lumber Plus, more than a lumber yard.
This is SportsCenter.
Arkansas baseball kept on rolling yesterday against Louisiana Monroe, finishing off Tuesday's game on a run rule walk-off grand slam from Kuhio Eloy in the 7th inning, winning that game 14-1 and then winning Wednesday's game 15-3. The Eloy brothers continued to bash as Vahivo Eloy went 3 for 5 in the first game and then 2 for 4 in the second game. Kuhio was 3 for 5 in the first game, then 2 for 4 in the second. The brothers lead the team in hits, Kuhio being first and Vahivo being second. The Razorbacks have not lost a midweek game since May 2nd, 2023 against Lipscomb at Dickey-Stevens Park. Arkansas will host Portland for a 3-game series that starts tomorrow. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Tune in each week when Susan Irwin Prowl shares her keys to the weekend music events calendar with Justin and DJ. Brought to you by Willie D's and Big Red Dog Productions. Big Red Dog Productions is your gateway to music excellence in Central Arkansas and beyond. Visit entertainersguide.com to see the weekly calendar and submit your shows.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
They say you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and that's your home and your business. So if your business needs a touch-up, call CertaPro Painters and let them handle the job for you. They provide excellent workmanship, quality, and a worry-free process for both residential and commercial spaces, all at the right price. You've got to focus on your business. Let them focus on your painting. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Get your estimate scheduled today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
This is Victoria Lee with Lion Legal. We provide exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and the courtroom. For exceptional results in growing your business, then add Sabrina Woodall with 1037 The Buzz to your pride. Call Sabrina 501-650-4971. Lion Legal and The Buzz. There is no one better to protect and grow your pride.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Deep right field against the... Diggs swings and belts it high in the air to deep right field against the wind, and that ball's out of here. Kendall Diggs crushed that ball.
Kendall Diggs is brought to you by Stephen Elmore with Shelter Insurance. For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Stephen Elmore or give him a call at 501-537-0959.
Let's bring him in, Kendall Diggs, with the home run yesterday. Kendall, how'd that feel leaving the bat?
It felt good, man. It felt good. Always good, to get the first one out of the way. But, yeah, just really trying to, find that barrel consistently again. So it felt real good.
Had two blowout wins yesterday. What did that feel like?
Yeah, it's awesome. We play a hefty amount of games, in a full season. So I think it's always just a really, really good sign, to be able to, look at it, the guys as a whole, as a group, and watch them play and not be able to tell you whether it's a weekend series or a midweek game just by how competitive and how serious we're taking it. So I think it was a really good, 2 games to get in before this weekend, and now we're focused on Portland.
Now this team does have a sense of getting it done when you're in close games. So what is it about this team that has a sense of knowing how to win those close games?
Yeah, I think it's. I feel like there's not ever a panic. We know what we're capable of, whether it's on the mound or in the field, in the batter's box. So no matter what the deficit is or a close game, we never going to panic. We know what we're capable of, but we know it's not going to happen. on one pitch, one swing. You just got to keep stacking them. So.
Talking with Kendall Diggs, thanks to Stephen Elmore, Shelter Insurance. Kendall, were you feeling a little different at the plate yesterday, more comfortable? Because I called it yesterday before we went to a break. I said, Kendall's about to hit a home run. Now, unfortunately, I was a little early in calling my shot because you lined out to the left center gap. The center fielder made a nice play. Did you just feel more comfortable yesterday?
I did. I felt good. I wouldn't say, any more comfortable than, some other. I mean, it's, the main thing for me right now is just trying to get, every time I get in there, just kind of getting that timing back, flow of the swing, the move. And, because, since I, got cleared, I guess, fully, I'm probably sitting around right at 50-ish at bats, right around there. So, really just trying to get in there and just, get back to being myself. And, we're getting there after every AB, I'm, kind of piecing it together here and there, and it feels really good. But, just trying to just keep getting better day in and day out.
I felt you were more aggressive yesterday, swinging at a first pitch, and Coach Van Horn even said after the game that he or they or Coach Thompson, somebody had told you, let's be a little bit more aggressive. Was that something in your mind at the plate, changing something up?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I've been trying to, kind of like just get back to myself and that muscle memory and, the groove of the swing and that type of deal. But, we definitely had some conversations, just always having tons of conversations, whether it's with DVH or Coach Thompson, how can I get better? How can I improve? What do you guys see? This is what I'm feeling. And, for me, and it's something that I really wanted to, I know I needed to be aggressive and all this kind of stuff, but it's really hard to, get to that and be all over it if you're not feeling, like you're 100% like yourself. And after we talked a lot of times too, I was getting a lot of 2-strike counts. So, and then it was really like, how am I going to get back to myself? It's not going to change if nothing else changes. You got to get in there, be ready to hit. And, not that I'm not always, sometimes it kind of takes your mind off. You get in there, you're ready to hit. You're not in there thinking about any sort of mechanics or anything like that. So, we had some conversations about that, and, I'm glad I got to show it a little bit.
So what's the process been like? Are you getting designated rest days, rest times, and trying to build back to that process and get back fully healthy?
Yeah, I'd say I don't think it's anything designated or nothing like that. For me, I'm full go now. I'll get, I'll say as far as just treatment goes, day in and day out, I'm doing a handful of stuff just to keep the body in shape and more for precautionary reasons, injury prevention and that kind of stuff. But really just grinding every day, and like I said earlier, just trying to get back to myself, man, getting that groove. But and I feel like it's right there. That swing was one of the better swings I'd taken in recent times, so it felt really good.
Did anybody give you any grief about sliding in head first to third base the other night?
In third?
Yeah.
When I was diving back, nah, they didn't. It was a little tricky one there, but it wasn't even really a dive either. I kind of just was right there. I was dead sitting there with the balls right there. So no, I didn't hear anything.
You made me nervous though. Anytime I see you diving into a base with your hands first, I'm like, oh no, watch out for that shoulder.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, I'm very mindful of it.
Did anybody give Bobby Wernes a little grief on that late stop sign? Because if they didn't, I will. I thought he kind of waited too late to tell you to stop.
I think maybe a little bit. They had some conversations about it. Bobby's great, man. First, like right there, tagged me out when Eric set up, pat me on the back and said, that's completely on me, 5. And I looked at him, gave him a pat back, said, we're good. And I think there was just, we had some conversations. I assume you probably talked to the other coaches too. But they get it too, man. He's new over there. And, they talked about it. He learned. I think he got put in the same situation, one or two other times. And, that either he's waving us or he's putting that stop sign up with plenty of time. So, and I wouldn't say it was anything, nothing crazy, but, it happens, man. We're all human.
So, Kendall, you're trying to get up to speed as far as batting and hitting and getting back in a groove there. What do you think of your play in the field?
Yeah, I really never felt like I was far behind or got put back as far as being an outfield, after that first handful of scrimmages out there. or even just, track and stuff in BP. I never felt I really even, took a step back with the outfield. So
I thought it was cool when they used you late in the game as a replacement. Who would have thought a year ago when they moved you out to right field, you'd be coming in as a defensive replacement, as a guy to go out and play good defense late in the game?
Yes, sir. No, that is pretty cool. It is. Funny you say that, actually. Bobby Wernis, we were just talking about him. He actually said the same exact thing to me the morning after that. It's actually definitely really cool. And, it's something, I definitely take pride in too, just making that transition and, working my tail off to become a good defender out there.
The Loy brothers, they're tearing it up, and we probably could talk to you every time we talk to you about the way they've been playing because they've been playing so well. But how would you assess the way that they've been playing and what you've seen from them?
Oh, yeah. They're great, man. I love, Vaheva, Theo, those are two of my favorite people, man. They just bring it, they always have a smile on their face, but at the same time, it kind of brings, when you watch them play, they're having fun, man. They're out there and they're loose, so it brings a good vibe and to not only just to them and their performance, but also for our dugout and then our guys in that box. But, they've been nothing short of amazing. Vaheva's unbelievable over there at shortstop, but then obviously he's swinging a big stick. But, Cahillo's not even on this earth right now in that box. It's quite unbelievable to watch, truly. It feels like every time he swings that bat, he's gonna hit it about 115 miles an hour somewhere.
Is he one of the guys that you have to get up and pay attention to when he's at the plate right now?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'd say whenever, yes, either of the Aloys are up there, it's fun to watch for sure.
Is Coach Van Horn, is he pretty much the same all the time, like season to season, or do you see some differences in him season to season? Like, are you seeing some differences this season that maybe you weren't seeing last season?
I'd say he's pretty consistent with, everything, and I think that's, something why we're so consistently, successful in the league is, he set a standard and he knows what it takes, and so we trust him. It kind of just all falls in place after that. But yeah, it kind of just depends on, the roster and the situation with that too, as far as, maybe doing stuff a little bit more. But, I definitely say, one thing, we're definitely playing a little bit more ball this year as far as, running the bases, bonding guys over, et cetera, if it fits in with the situation.
When you throw in Iredale with the Aloys, you got some guys who can hit it a ton, a long way. And we've already seen a couple of massive home runs this season, no doubters. Who's got the biggest power on the team?
Oh, it's got to be one, either Vaheva or Cahillo.
Little brother and big brother wrestling over the title?
Oh, yeah, I'd say both of them. Those are some big boppers right there.
Have you hit one over the building before? Because you came close yesterday. It was close to the ceiling or to the roof.
It was close yesterday. Yeah, I've got a couple. I've got a couple that have gotten over here. I'm trying to think if I know exactly which ones. I couldn't tell you. I know a handful of them were in scrimmages. So yeah, it kind of just depends. Sometimes they get up there, and it's almost weird if you hit it up there high enough with the wind. If you have the wind with you, it'll really push it. But if you keep it below the building, it kind of just plays true right there. So,
who else would you put in the mix as far as power hitters?
Ooh, I feel like you can really go almost all the way down and back up, and everyone. But as far as pure power, you got to put Souza in there. He's the best barrel bat speed I've ever really seen. To the point where it's almost like sometimes it's so dang good and fast, I feel like it hurts him because you wouldn't be able to slow it down sometimes. But no, I'd say you got to go to the Aloys, Iredale, Souza. I'd say those are the main big boppers in the lineup. Michael Anderson, actually, who plays the first base, he's hit some balls very, very far as well. But I wouldn't say it's as consistently as loud as come off the bat as Kehoe or V or Sue. So
yeah, the one Souza hit yesterday for the walk-off win, it didn't look like he killed it. And then you look up and it cleared the fence easily. And that one went, I think they said over 420 feet, and it didn't look like he crushed it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's crazy. I've seen that a lot. And when when he does crush it, it's something special for sure. But yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't have to get all of it by any means to poke it out of there. So,
Saturday starting with Portland tomorrow. What do you know about Portland?
I know they're a good team. They got a good staff. Actually, I think a kid on one of their pitchers actually last week threw a perfect game, which is pretty crazy. I feel like you never really hear that all that much now. But yeah, we haven't started any scouting reports a whole lot or anything like that. Probably will later today or early tomorrow. But yeah, they're a good squad. They wanted to come in here and play us, so we're looking forward to. It's gonna be a good weekend battle.
Yeah, I saw that perfect game, and he threw it like in 90-something pitches. And you think this early in the season, they're on a pitch count. For him to have a perfect game in that few pitches, that dude must have been on.
Pretty crazy. It is. I feel like I've never seen a perfect game like that. 90 pitches, 12 strikeouts. So I feel like he was either punching the guy out or they were getting up there and getting out on the first or second pitch.
Well, we saw something a lot of people have never seen before this past weekend with Parker Coyle and his immaculate inning. What is it about Coyle that makes his stuff so filthy?
He really put it all together this year, man. He's always had really, really good stuff, good mound presence, pace out there. And, he's throwing this cutter that's really polished up. And, he feels like he throws that with a slider, sometimes a little curveball in there as well. But that cutter, I feel like he had that in, polished that, and it really complemented his other pitches. And then, he'll get in there and he'll throw a heater in there on you. It's 91, 93. But if, he's thrown the cutter and the slider before, it's going to play up. So, he has a really good mix, and he hasn't been missing, anywhere above the belt. And he's just, you can tell he's up, going out there with confidence and just attacking. So it's been really cool to see.
Kendall, we appreciate it, man. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Kendall Diggs, thanks to Stephen Elmore, Shelter Insurance. We'll take a break. When we come back, you'll want to stick around. Some pretty cool Razorback basketball news about next season. I'm not going to tease you like you're thinking somebody's about to come back and play. It's something about next season and scheduling. We'll talk about that next. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Hi folks, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. When you're in the market for a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram, we hope you give us a chance to earn your business. Here's some things to consider. Fletcher Dodge has been a family-owned dealer here in Sherwood for over 25 years. We know how to take care of our customers to keep them coming back. Every Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer pays the same price for their vehicles. It's the dealer that makes the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's, and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you'll always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Are you ready to take your classic car or vintage 4x4 to the next level? Look no further than Overland Auto Restoration in Cabot. From mechanical and performance upgrades to new upholstery and paint, our experienced team at Overland is dedicated to restoring the beauty and heritage of your classic vehicle. Give Overland Auto Restoration a call at 501-246-4372 or visit overlandautoworks.com and get your classic ride back on the road and better than ever.
You choose, you win. The crowd goes wild. The 2025 Bud Light $10,000 Bracket Challenge is your chance to win a 50-inch TV. Submit a perfect bracket and you'll win $10,000. Pick 60 games correctly, you'll win $1,000. Registration is open now at 1037thebuzz.com. It's the Bud Light $10,000 Bracket Challenge from 1037 The Buzz.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Want to thank the folks at Triple C Sales in Conway. Also want to thank Joe Klein, Bobby Swafford, and Melinda Mayo for coming on the show today. On Friday, the guys are live from Oak Lawn in Hot Springs. They'll preview the weekend in racing. Also, they'll preview Arkansas and Mississippi State basketball, and there's baseball, softball, so much.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Some big breaking news for Razorback basketball. It's a pretty cool story. Next season, Arkansas is going to play on Thanksgiving Day yet again. Nationally televised on CBS, a primetime matchup, 7 o'clock. You know, this past year it was like, 3:30 or something? It was kind of Cowboys, Razorbacks were on at the same time. Mm-hmm. This year it's primetime, CBS. I'm guessing they'll probably have the late game on Thanksgiving Day, and they'll go
another NFL game on.
Straight. No, I mean CBS will have the late afternoon game, the 3 o'clock game. And it'll roll right into basketball at 7?
Maybe not.
No. Last year Fox had the 3 o'clock game. So I think they don't alternate.
Rotate. No, they don't do that. Nah. That's not how that works. It's because most of the time Cowboys are on Fox. And so that's where you get the 3:30 game.
Well, 7 o'clock primetime CBS. If there's one program you could face right now, non-conference, who would it be, Joe?
Duke.
Arkansas will be playing Duke Thanksgiving night, primetime, CBS, 7 o'clock start, United Center in Chicago.
Nice. Great location, too.
Oh, it's awesome, man. That's so good for the program. It's one of the perks of having John Calipari as your head coach, and he's able to get these kind of matchups, non-conference matchups, neutral site games. And then with the way that Arkansas and Calipari recruits every year, it gives these networks faith that, you know what, they're going to be pretty good. They're going to have some really good players. Oh, let's look at this signing class. Oh, he's got 2 of the top 5 guards in the country coming. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a good matchup. Let's put Arkansas and Duke together. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. It's good to already have that out, too. So you're people can get started on trying to plan those trips early.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it goes a little better this year than it did last year against Illinois. That one was kind of got out of hand, double digits, and just could never get over the hump, get back into it. But still, be a fun game. Great experience. Let's go to the D3 Auto Sales text line. Somebody asked, how did the Sheridan girls do against GCT, Greene County Tech? Unfortunately, Greene County Tech handled Sheridan pretty easily the other day. But I'll say this, Greene County Tech's probably, I would say that they're the favorite to win their side of the bracket and play Farmington in the state championship. Farmington's really good, too. They're freshmen. I was reading about it that, what was her name? Remember Bobby was telling us, Bobby Swafford was in telling us about the freshman at Farmington.
She scored 29 the first game she ever played.
She scored 30-something points in her first state tournament game, and she had like 29, 27 in the first half. Second quarter, she hit like her first 5, 6, 7 threes.
29 in the first half?
Yeah, and then they did a little boxing one, did a little different defense, and Coach was like, man, she handled it perfectly. And when she did that, she got everybody else involved, and we just kept rolling. So anyway, Farmington's a machine right now, and the freshman got off to a great start. Hog fan James says, yesterday, Wes and Joe, I was talking to a friend about Trevin Brazile and how he played against Vanderbilt. That led to the question, does he have any eligibility after this season? I know he transferred in and had the injury, but I can't remember if he's done. Not saying he isn't. I'm just genuinely curious. Thanks, Hog fan James. We played that first year at Missouri, and then this is his third year at Arkansas. But remember, one of the years he got hurt early in the season. I don't know if that could be a medical redshirt year.
If it is, you have to apply after the fact.
After you're out of eligibility. And, sometimes you get to a point where these guys have been in college for so long that they're like, it's time to leave college and go make some money. And maybe it's overseas for Brazile.
And when he first came here, at the time, it was thought that he was on that fast track to leave early. And injuries kind of derailed that. So when you get later in your career, you're still thinking about that timeline, and you're not trying to spend any extra time.
It's funny how a couple of good games has people wondering, does he have any eligibility left? Whereas about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, after the Auburn game, was it the Auburn game? When they were like, can he get out? Can you just get rid of him now?
He is listed as a junior.
Yeah. So
and when you go to basketball homepage, there's a pic of him. That dunk that he had, the second one, the spectacular one, where he gets the steal, that's the pic that's on the opening page.
That's weird. He's listed as a junior, but, he played – this is his third year at Arkansas, and he played a year – so I'm guessing somehow COVID? Would that be his first year, 21-22? No? I don't know, but he's listed as a junior. Yeah, thank you. Trevin is listed as a junior. I don't know if he would come back, though. I wonder if he's one of those guys that would even consider it. Brent's in Searcy. What's up, Brent?
Well, I was calling to tell you Trevin Brazile does have another year.
Yeah.
And Wes, he can make more money NIL than he can make overseas next year.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to pay him. I don't think they're going to pay him $750 $1 million. No. Could he get 400? Maybe.
He may get a raise. You know what I mean? If he keeps playing.
Well, I'm not the one writing that check, and I don't know if they will because of 2 games.
Wes, what do you think the Cowboys are going to do here at free agency?
Nothing big. No, they're going to draft. They will not have a big splashy free agent hiring or signing. They're going to build through the draft. They're going to try to sign a couple of their own.
Are they going to have to draft a guard?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we got to run. Sorry. We got to go. Hour number 2's next.
Gathering Spaces is showing up and showing off. This is Pat Bradley for Whit Davis Lumber Plus. You want paint that stands the test of time and color that stays true. Premium, high-hiding, and scrubbable Valspar Medallion paint goes on as easily as it cleans up to give your home's high-traffic areas the beautiful, lasting color they deserve. You can find Valspar paint at Whit Davis in Jacksonville, Sherwood, and Greenbrier. One coat coverage, maximum durability. Valspar paint.
And now, your starting lineup at Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union. At point guard, setting up your financial future, Steve Brown. At shooting guard, your mortgage loan playmaker, the real Matt Jones. At small forward, with home equity lines of credit, Jamie Bigelow. At power forward, bringing the strength of Kasasa Free Checking, Andrea Rose. And at center, towering at the Sheridan branch, Leah House. Visit AlcoaCommunityFCU.org and join this championship squad today.
It's
your Racer Hog update on Out of Bounds as Joe and Wes update you from the hill. Presented by Bradford Marine and ATV. It's fishing season. Shop online at bradfordmarine.com.
Don't get sidetracked.
That man is playing Galaga.
We'll keep you on course.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
103.7 The Buzz. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
Police say they found the vehicle of Miss Belvedere, the 95-year-old Mountain Home woman who has not been seen for nearly a month. Mountain Home police say Day's car was found at the Little Rock Air Force Base. There was a body inside. Jacksonville police have not confirmed the identification of the body, but Day's grandson says the search for his grandmother is over. A bill filed Wednesday is looking to shield students from, quote, critical theory concepts. The Parents and Teachers Helping Students Succeed Act would let parents check their kids out of school to avoid certain lessons that conflict with their beliefs. Parents would also have more access to school information. The bill would give teachers more authority over students, including disciplinary actions. It has been referred to the House Education Committee. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drop Time Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
Plenty of sunshine in store for your Thursday, and it'll be a lot less breezy than what we saw yesterday. And temperatures will be pretty seasonal for this afternoon. We'll warm up into the upper 50s and the lower 60s. Clouds will increase tonight and will be partly cloudy for your Friday. Winds will return, not as breezy as what we saw yesterday, and will warm up into the 70s. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Fellas, if you're not feeling that same energy anymore, testosterone therapy or TRT may be the answer. Look for personalized treatments like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Low T Center brings over a decade of experience. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com.
Roger, did you know that Oaklawn Sports is the mobile app that lets you bet anywhere in Arkansas?
Anywhere, so I can bet the over when I'm in Dover.
Indeed you can.
I can take the underdog in Dogtown.
Absolutely.
You're telling me I can bet on the pigskin in Piggott?
Yep.
Hoops in Humnoke, baseball in Bauxite, long shots in Lavaca?
All of the above.
Anywhere, huh?
Anywhere.
Nice.
Easy to use and even easier to fund. Bet with confidence. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Are you tired of that old, outdated bathtub? Replace it with a beautiful, modern, easy-access walk-in shower from Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Bath Makeover is Central Arkansas's trusted local source for custom bathing solutions installed in as little as 1 day. Backed with a lifetime warranty, featuring our revolutionary new laser-etched shower wall systems. Call Bath Makeover of Arkansas now at 1-800-NEW-BATH during our triple saving sale. You'll save 3 ways. First, save $1,000 on a new bathtub or shower. Second, ask about 18 months, no interest and no payment financing. Senior and military discounts. Third, purchase a new bath or shower and receive a $200 Target gift card plus a bonus. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH right now for a free $50 restaurant.com gift card with in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or even trying to do it yourself. 315-9395 or go online at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Freddie Coleman.
Chicago Bears. Bravo. Looking like an organization.
We haven't talked about the Bears like this in a long, long time, making the right move with the new head coach, Ben Johnson. Then you go get a Jonah Jackson for a draft pick yesterday from the Los Angeles Rams. And then today, you get an all-pro, a two-time all-pro guard in Joe Tooney. So in 24 hours, they've been able to look at Caleb Williams and say, we're not going to have this be a gap year. Ben Johnson's like, I ain't waiting for nothing. I'm making sure that in a division where we were the only team that didn't make the playoffs in the NFC North, the Bears at one point were 4-2 before, after losing to Washington that way, Harry, then the bottom dropped out. Ben Johnson is not about trying to hear anything about a gap year and being on their timeline. He has his own timeline in an NFL that is second by second and not year by year and not game by game.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. Your Razor Hog update on Out of Bounds is brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV with 6 statewide locations. Huge factory incentives going on now on most boat lines. Bradford Marine and ATV, selling fun since 1971.
The biggest news, the breaking news that just was released in the last 30 minutes is Arkansas is going to play Duke next Thanksgiving night. Nationally televised game on CBS. It'll start at 7 o'clock. It's in Chicago at the United Center. Pretty darn cool. Arkansas wraps up the SEC schedule Saturday, 11 a.m. start against Mississippi State. Razorbacks have a chance to finish the season 7-11. Chance to maybe be as high as a 9 seed in the SEC tournament. If they win, it's either a 9 or a 10 seed. 9 seed if Vanderbilt loses to Georgia. 10 seed if Vanderbilt beats Georgia. And then if they lose, they could be 11, maybe a 12, I think. So anyway, the seeding will be decided Saturday after the completion of the regular season. Yesterday, the Razorbacks baseball team took care of Louisiana Monroe. They actually won 2 games in one day. The first one, they were just finishing up, and Kahia Aloy hit a grand slam to walk it off, and then they came out and got another grand slam.
The 1-2. Hammered in the air, deep out to right. Oh, the beer hats are paying off. That's a grand slam for Charles Davalon.
It's pretty good. 2 grand slams in a day. Charles Davalon, the center fielder, got a hold of that one. Later on, Kahia Aloy, he's the one who hit the first grand slam, got him another one.
An OPS with a 1 dot. 0-2 is launched to left center. That is gone again. Kahia Aloy is on another planet right now. How about a 3-run homer to make it 12-3 Arkansas in the bottom of the 5th. His second of the day, first of this game.
Yeah, same score, bottom of the 7th inning. Razorbacks looking for another walk-off win, and they get it from Nolan Souza.
1-1 the pitch. Flying in the air. That's pretty well hit to center. Walker back on the warning track at the wall. Ball game. Hogs win. Nolan Souza walk-off 3-run homer. 15-3 the final in 7. How about 2 walk-off homers in the same day?
Nolan and Coach Thompson went in and made some adjustments, changed it, stood him up a little bit. Yeah, he'd probably give you a few more details, but they've worked hard together. And, I agree with you, though. This game is so mental, and make an adjustment, you get a hit, start feeling better about yourself, standing in the batter's box and confident. And he's definitely swinging the bat with a lot more authority and confidence since that base hit.
Dave Van Horn talking about Nolan Souza. Here is Nolan Souza and what's getting him going.
Yeah, I've been working with Coach Thompson and also Kuhil and Viva have been helping me with my swing. Just kind of trying to keep it more simple, cut down the extra movement, stop my head from moving so much in my load. And I was happy to be able to get that at bat against Charlotte. It was nice to kind of get to test out the swing, and obviously it worked. So that was good for me, but I really appreciate those guys helping me.
Offense is rolling right now for Arkansas. Here's Coach Van Horn on the offense.
Today's game, I just thought offensively that we did a really good job of laying off a lot of borderline pitches early in the count, took some balls, got into some good hitters counts, took our walks. I know we walked double digits 13 times. I think we got hit by maybe 3 pitches, 3 batters, and it's a lot of free passes. Plus you throw in a couple of errors, especially that leadoff error by the pitcher on the ball that was capped and spinning. I tried to field it with his bare hand, and it spun out of his hand. And then, just seemed like the inning, went our way after that. So, we hit for some power today, hit some doubles. Really liked the way Behava drove 2 balls to right field for doubles. I really enjoyed that second inning when we started rally with 2 outs and got back the 2 runs that we gave them on the home run. In the 2 games we scored on, it seemed like almost every inning. So just I feel like our offense is getting better, and a lot of guys are contributing. It makes it difficult to fill out a lineup.
It does make it difficult. It's got guys that are producing and hitting that are sitting on the bench and just waiting for their opportunity. And then it's tough on him too, because he wants to get Souza going. And he talked a little bit about this because he knows Souza can have the success. He knows Diggs has had success. He wants to get them going. But when they're struggling, you got 2 other guys that have been hitting the ball. So you want to play those other 2 guys, but at some point you got to get these guys going so that they can help you later on in the year. You need everybody, and it's just a balancing act of trying to get everybody the at-bats that they need.
Get somebody in there at DH, but the DH they have playing right now, he had a lot to say about Kahio Aloy.
Yeah, that's one of the problems. In the very beginning, they were thinking Kahia could be like a DH against left-handed pitchers. Well, then he started hitting right-handed pitchers too. He's hitting everybody right now, and they can't take him out of the lineup. Well, you can't. The guy's hitting over 500. The RBIs, the home runs, it's crazy.
I don't know about a DH. I had a pretty good hitter named Kenny Harvey back at Nebraska that hit the ball like this. He was hitting about 500 going into May, and ended up playing in the big leagues with the Royals, mostly as a DH, but he played first base for me. But yeah, it's been fun to watch him. Even just like the last home run he hit, pitcher made some really nice pitches and he made one mistake and he left it up. Right when he left it up, you could see it coming from the side and it was just bang. And I thought it hit the wall. The thing just kept going, went out of the park. That wind was pretty violent. Not fun to pitch in.
It was a line drive home run. Typically, when a ball leaves the bat on that angle, you're like, yeah, it's off the wall. It's a double in the gap. The thing was just such a laser. It just kept going and holding the altitude.
And cleared the wall.
It just cleared the wall. Line drive home run. Here's Aloy.
Always hungry for another AB, And if I'm up next, believe I'll be ready, ready to do whatever it takes.
He lets his bat do the talking. He's not a big talker. That's about as good as we can get for Kahia Aloy. That's fine. One more. Dave Van Horn. Oh, yeah, he was asked, are you a little surprised that these pitchers are still throwing it to him, that they're not working around him? Throwing a bunch of off speed, doing the intentional walk.
Yeah, there was a couple of times I didn't think they would pitch to him in that second game. Obviously, he's not missing mistakes. You got to pitch him really carefully, but I think he walked once maybe, and I don't know. I guess they're worried about the guy behind him, or they're just saying, "Hey, it's a midweek game. Let's see if we can get the guy out." Maybe they didn't feel like that. They were going to be able to keep up with us offensively, and they just went after him. I think that you have a player this hot, you got to have somebody behind him swinging it well. So he will get some pitches, and
they do. That's one of the good things about this lineup. Let's talk a little recruiting now. Richard Davenport with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and WholeHogSports.com joins us. Hey, RD, how are you?
Hey, buddy. Doing good, man. Doing good.
We just got to hear from Coach Pittman, so that lets us know spring football's right around the corner, and they'll be getting started here pretty soon. And when spring football starts, you start getting some visitors. What do you got lined up, or what do they have lined up as far as visitors?
Well, I do know that they have several kids coming in this weekend on Saturday, having another junior day. So this will be the first batch of kids they've had on campus since January. Well, February 1. They had a few on February 1, but the previous 2 weekends they had pretty large groups of guys back then. But dead period was all of basically of February. So this is the restarting of official visits, and even official visits if they want to. But Arkansas is really trying to focus on trying to get those official visits to come in June, because most of the kids start to make decisions in June, July, before the start of their season.
You typically see larger numbers coming off that dead period, or is it a process where it builds up to a bigger number of visits?
They do a good job of having a good number just about every weekend. And I don't know if there's a particular. There might be. Well, for the spring game, they'll try to blow it out then. But a lot of times when you have a spring game, other schools have spring games or scrimmages, and you're competing against other schools to get kids on campus. But so it can be a little difficult. But you're doing that basically all of the spring anyway too. But they usually do a pretty good job of having anywhere from 15 to 30 guys, especially during spring practice, visiting on the weekends. But then I think they'll have probably about 20 to 25 this weekend.
You think with some of the schools doing away with the spring games themselves, that more of the focus will go on to recruiting and doing those visits because of the fact that they're not having the spring game, so now you can showcase the campus, the athletic department, and the facilities more so?
Well, even if they don't have a spring game, I'm sure they'll have, spring practice and a scrimmage or something like that. But, most schools, it does seem like they try to focus on June as far as the official visits. Now, there's some kids, there's some schools, obviously, and there might happen with Arkansas. I don't know if they can't get the kid in June. But, several schools have official visitors during the spring also. But most of the time, you really do want to at least get that last 2 or 3 visits in before the kid makes that decision. Like I said, in June or in July, possibly as late as August. But I don't think it'd be a big difference with schools. Some schools discontinuing spring games. Excuse me.
Richard Davenport with us, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. Richard, what does the spring portal look like?
It's a week long, and it's I have to look it up. I think it's in late March. No. Excuse me. I think it's in April after most of the spring practices end. So basically a week, and obviously you have a chance to lose some kids. along with gaining kids. So it's going to be interesting with it being a short window, being just a week, see how it goes. But in the past, Arkansas has had good success having about anywhere from 3 to 5, 6 kids out of the portal, signing with them in the spring. So, and they've had some noteworthy guys sign in the spring. So, I think it'll probably be the same this year. It's usually 3 to 5 guys during that period where Arkansas signs them.
What kinds of needs are they looking at here, or when you look towards the next class, is it more just about getting the best players that are available?
No, I think they'll probably try to maybe add a linebacker, definitely a defensive tackle, maybe a defensive back, and I think they're done at running back. I think they're done at tight end. I think they may add another one at receiver, but I think some of that will be dictated by the spring, and if say some of the guys that they brought in from in the portal in January, if some of them aren't exactly what they expected, come at the end of the spring, and they're kind of like, well, this guy's probably not going to contribute like we thought he would. They could obviously go back to the portal and add one of those guys, at whatever position. Maybe that they had some disappointments, but overall, you have to look at Arkansas. What Arkansas has done the last few years in the portal. Most of the guys see the field and contribute. They either contribute or they're starters for the most part. So this staff's done a really good job evaluating and getting some good talent added to the roster in January and going into February. Into the spring.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there could be an injury or two, at the same position, and all of a sudden, like, oof, that's going to leave us short. We got to go get somebody in the portal to fill some holes. And it could work vice versa. Right. You get some surprises, a couple of surprises from maybe freshmen or guys that have taken the next step, and you're like, oh, well, we're okay at this position. We're not going to have to hit the portal here. So that's what the spring evaluation period's all about for them with their own team. They get that opportunity before the portal opens up. And then you got to see who gets in the portal.
True. So sometimes schools, I know Arkansas has been disappointed with some, a particular position here or there as far as the talent pool in the portal, and so they just wasn't going to settle and just sign a guy. So they kind of let it go and hope for the development maybe of some of the younger guys. But the spring portal is April 16th to April 25th. So, like I said, about a week or so of a window opportunity there.
What's the latest in basketball recruiting and where they stand?
There's some 5-star guy coming in this weekend. Nate Ament, 6'9", about 185, consensus 5-star, top 5 prospect in the country. I saw it was about a week or two ago. I think it was CBS. I can't remember. No, it was ESPN. They had a mock draft for the 2026 draft. And Nate was number 4 in the 26th draft. So, wow. And I was just talking to Paul Benincardi of ESPN. He said if high school kids were able to go into the NBA draft right now, he would be a lottery pick. I mean that's how good he is. He also kind of compared his game. Didn't say he's equivalent to. This guy I'm about to mention, but his game is very similar to Jason Tatum's as far as how their range, just the way they play and things of that nature. He's not saying he's there just yet as far as Jason Tatum, but they have similar games. So he would be a huge get. Obviously, he's visited other 4 finalists: Duke, Tennessee, Louisville, and Kentucky. And this would be his last visit and the only visit to Arkansas. So, you think going into this weekend, and he's supposed to arrive Friday night for his official visit, you'd think that, it's kind of an uphill battle a little bit for Arkansas, but at the same time, you can't count out Coach Cal just because of his track record of sending guys to the league and also guys that, that are similar to him as far as, size and game-wise that go on to go to the league. So we'll see what happens, but obviously when you have 48 hours to entertain a kid for an official visit versus when you go see him for a game, or even if you have an in-home visit or something like that, you only have maybe an hour or so with him. Now you got 48 hours, and you can really kind of, lay out the plan for him and how he could help the program and how they could help him.
With them being one of 5 finalists, is it a 20% chance, or do you think it's greater or less?
And I don't know. You see some of the national guys, they seem to think it's Louisville or Duke, but and maybe Kentucky in there. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say. He's visited. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's visited those other finalists multiple times. If he hasn't, he's at least visited them once. So again, this is Arkansas's one shot. They're getting him in late in the process, and he's going to be making the decision not too long after the visit. So it will be his last visit too. So that is a plus for Arkansas.
Something that may be a little unusual with Nate Emmett also is the fact that it looks like he still plays for his hometown, like where he's from, as opposed to doing prep school or some of the other outlets that are out there. That's kind of unusual in today's game.
No, you're right. And I'll be honest with you. When you're a guy like him, I understand you level competition and things like that. If you go to a prestigious prep school or what have you, can kind of help you. But spring and summer basketball, you're playing against the best of the best too. So you see a lot of guys, go to one of the high profile programs in the country. And hey, each individual has their desires and wants. As far as high school basketball in the last few years, and they can make their own decisions. But I think it says something about him and his maturity and what he believes that he can be as successful at a local high school versus a highly regarded prep school. So I really respect guys that don't follow the crowd and kind of make their own decisions. And from what I can tell and what Paul Benincardi told me, I mean, he's just a very mature kid, and it seems to be a really good kid too.
When is he going to announce?
Well, it sounded like he's going to announce at the McDonald's All-American game April the 1st, and now it seems like he may make it earlier than that. But I guarantee you, the McDonald's All-American game, they're going to sweeten the pot, and they're going to do whatever they can to get him to announce then, because obviously it brings attention to their game, and I mean, it just makes sense that he would probably do it then, but it sounds like there might be a possibility he does it before.
We have good memories of a player announcing during the McDonald's All-American game and coming to Arkansas.
Okay, refresh me.
Wasn't it Anthony Black?
I was thinking it was Anthony, but obviously that's been couple of years ago, and I've slept since then. But I think you're right. That's the first person that I thought of when you mentioned that. But I think you're right.
Because they had Nick and Jordan Walsh as their 2 McDonald's All-Americans, and the word was they were working him during the McDonald's, trying to convince him to come to Arkansas. Maybe they helped sway.
Yeah, they physically threatened him, from our honors.
Whatever it takes, Richard, whatever it takes.
I'm just kidding, folks. Just kidding, folks.
Is that it as far as the this year's class for basketball? It's either Ament or that's it?
That should be it. Everything that I've gathered, that's it. I mean, just you have very, very few guys late in the process making decisions in the spring. The vast majority make their decisions back in November, and he would be the last guy, and obviously everything turns to the portal after the NCAA tournament, and we'll see what happens there. But if they by chance were able to get him, I was looking at On3.com and their industry rankings, which combines all 4 of the recruiting services. They would have 3 5-star signees, and Houston, who's got the number 1 class right now, has 2 5-stars, 1 4-star, and 1 3-star. I think Duke has, according to them, on 3 industry rankings, 1 5-star, 2 4-stars, and 3 4-stars. I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but anyway, if Arkansas is able to get Nate, I would think that if they're not number 1, they're definitely number 2. But it'd be hard pressed to see, 3 5-stars and a 4-star not be the number 1 class. I mean, Cal, when he was at Kentucky, I think he only had 2 classes that were not in the top 1 or 2 in the country. So it would obviously be a very, very strong class.
RD, we'll let you run. We appreciate your time.
All right, man. We'll see you guys.
Richard Davenport, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. Joins us every Thursday, 2:10, right here on Out of Bounds. Got some updates from the high school basketball state championships. Several games, girls' games, in the books. Pass along those finals when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Listen each Friday during Drive Time Sports for the basketball insider in Arkansas. It's Pure Sweat Skills and Training's Bart Reed, made possible by Martin Orthopedics, with locations in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Cabot, and Hot Springs Village. Staffed with fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine specialists. For more information on the web, go to martinortho.care.
This is Sports Center.
In college basketball last night, there were 3 ranked teams who fell to an unranked opponent. We'll start with 15th ranked Missouri, who fell to Oklahoma 96-84. They're led by star freshman Jeremiah Fears, who had 31 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Ole Miss upset 4th ranked Tennessee 78-76 for their 21st win of the season. Then nationally, UConn beat 20th ranked Marquette 72-66. Some other notable games include 13th ranked Maryland beating 17th ranked Michigan 71-65, and 5th ranked Florida beating 7th ranked Alabama 99-94. In college basketball tonight, Little Rock will start their postseason in the OVC tournament as they face UT Martin at 6 o'clock. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
The Zone Hotline on 103.7 The Buzz is presented by Jim's Razorback Pizza with 2 locations, Highway 10 past Taylor Loop and just off the Morgan Mall Mill exit.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, Together, let's strive.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agent Matt Warden in Little Rock, Seth Hobbs in Bryant, or Nick Gennardi in Sherwood.
It's Justin Acree. If you're dealing with back or neck pain, the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health is here to help. Whether it's neurosurgery, orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, or pain management, their experts have you covered with the latest technology and minimally invasive techniques. They're focused on reducing your pain, improving mobility, and getting you back to doing what you love. Call 501-686-TOSH to set up an appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now. It's Justin Acree for CertaPro Painters, and CertaPro knows how important your home is to you. That's why they're focused on helping you bring fresh color to your home. You can trust CertaPro Painters to get the job done right, even in those hard-to-reach places. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting, all at the right price. And each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're always easy, and they get you a quote right away. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Loyalty. It's a big word for Family Market, and we mean it. That's why our loyalty card, also known as our rewards card, same thing, folks, lets you save 5 cents a gallon every time you fill up at any of our 4 locations. Grab a large fountain drink or a fresh cup of community coffee, that's another 5 cents off a gallon. And on Big Mondays, mid-grade gas costs the same as regular. Yep, you heard me right. Family Market. Keeping it simple and saving you money in Shannon Hills, Malvern, Pangburn, and now Mayflower. Just off I-40. Stop by today. Your wallet will thank you.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me smoking out the window. Must have spent 45,000 up in Tiffany's. Oh no! Got a bad and kids running around my whole crib like it's Chuck E. Cheese. Whoa, whoa! Put me in the jam with an X-Men in the UFC.
All right, welcome back. It's Out of Bounds. Bad news out of the OVC conference tournament. Little Rock Lady Trojans done. They lost their first game. They played Southern Indiana today, lost 73-52.
Well, their season's over, and talking to AD Frank Cuervo, he said that they're in a building process. So this is part of that process.
Yeah, part of a transition year with Joe Foley leaving, and kind of struggled down the stretch. I was hoping they could put it all together and make a little bit of a run at the tournament. All right, let's check out some high school basketball scores. 3A state tournament. Paris, Melbourne. It is Melbourne that comes away with the 67-49 victory. 1A state tournament. Mark Tree knocks off Sacred Heart. These are all girls' games, by the way. 42-31. Down in Magnolia at the 4A state tournament. Arkadelphia beat Berryville 62-36. Kind of saw that one coming. Arkadelphia was the 3 seed out of that conference. We've talked about that conference a lot with Kyle Sutherland over the season. That's the same conference that had Nashville and DeQueen. And Nashville and DeQueen both moved on, won their first round game. Wait, I guess DeQueen did. I don't think Nashville's played yet. I think they play here in a couple minutes or this afternoon. Anyway, Arkadelphia was that 3 seed. They had a good team, and they knock off Berryville, so that conference continues to show well. Camden Fairview was the 4 seed, and they played Shiloh Christian, the 1 seed out of the Northwest, to a 10-point game. It was a very good competitive game where the 4 seed almost knocked off the 1 seed, so that conference has looked strong. In 2A girls action, Poen knocks off Bigelow, 54-46. Should have one more score coming up. Don't see Lake Hamilton. Lake Hamilton was playing in the 5A tournament up in Paragould. See if I can find a final for them. They were losing at one point, and I know they were getting ready for the next game, but I do not see it yet. That is a third quarter score. They were down 11 to Valley View. Just have to refresh everything. I'll pass it along. I know there's some folks down in Hot Springs, Piercy, wanting to know how Lake Hamilton did. And if I find it, I'll pass it along. So we're caught up to date on all the scores from the conference. Now the boys are getting ready to play the next round. They alternate, go back and forth, girls, boys at the state tournament.
It's a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Let's go here. Jimmy and Roland on the D3 Auto Sales text line. How has Devo Davis done at Oklahoma State this year? Not anything spectacular, I would say. And I don't know. Maybe it was an injury at some point, but I saw where there was a game maybe about a week ago. Devo didn't even play. He wasn't.
It was the upset they had against Iowa State.
That's right. That's exactly when it was. Pull up Oklahoma State. See, they played last night. They lost to Central Florida. It's been a rough year for Oklahoma State. They're 14-16 overall. And Devo did not play last night. No minutes. I'll go to their Oklahoma State stats. See how it's gone for him. Devo Davis averaging about 14 minutes, 1.8 points per game. Shooting less than 30% from the field, 17% from the three-point line, about 1.5 rebounds a game, almost 1 assist a game. So not what he was hoping, I'm sure. Not the way he was hoping the season would play out at Oklahoma State. And like I said, I have not kept up with him or Oklahoma State. I don't know if injuries have been a factor, if he's been limited. I've not heard a thing. But I don't really pay attention to Oklahoma State basketball, and especially since they're not a top 25 team, not relevant in the Big 12, and they aren't going to the postseason. I haven't watched one game of Oklahoma State. I haven't noticed them on TV because I would have stopped where I was and watched a little bit of it just to see Devo and see if he got in a chance to play. But I haven't paid attention to him. This one comes from Lee. Lee says, we need a real big, someone with meat on their bones. A real big. Okay. Yeah. You want a Adu Thero that's about 3 inches taller.
Jonas Adu has that body. He has the body type for it.
Yeah.
It's just about getting production.
I'd like a big, even bigger than Adu. Stronger, more muscular. He's still on the, I wouldn't call him skinny, but slender side. He's played against much bigger guys, stronger guys. Maybe it's a weight program issue.
That's where it could improve for sure.
But Thero looks good. I mean, he's got big shoulders, arms. I mean, he can go in there and battle with anybody. But somebody with his type of physique, just a little bigger. I agree with you, Lee. That's what I'd like to see, because there have been several times this year where the guys just, heck, even, a couple of times against Vanderbilt, and their bigs weren't tall. One of them was 6'7", and he came in and was backing his way in and pushing and maneuvering, had a little good post drop step and laid it in for a basket. And you're like, come on now. I know he's got a lower center of gravity, but you can't let him just push you around like that. You got to stay in position to where you can at least have a chance to block the shot.
Adu is listed as 3 inches taller and 20 pounds heavier than Adu Thero.
What's Thero listed at? What, about 6'8"?
6'8", 220.
So I would have guessed probably 240. I thought he was a little bigger. I mean, 220's not, 6'8", 220's not big.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm 6'4", 230, so he's 4 inches taller than me and 10 pounds lighter. I don't know if I buy that, Joe. I think he's a little heavier than 220.
Okay, so check this out.
Okay.
Lawson Blake Now, I mean, we know what he looks like, but he's listed at 6'10", 240. So does he look bigger than Jonas Adu to you?
Yes. Yes.
So they're pretty much listed the same.
Same size? Yeah, Blake looks a little thicker, a little heavier than Adu. 501 says we need a Joe Klein. Wes, Joe. Yeah.
Talking about turning the clock back because, I mean, there are players with that body type in today's game, but they don't necessarily play that way in today's game.
Here's another suggestion.
And they're, when you see those players, they, if they play that style, it's rare. It's rare to see.
Chainsaw Dave says we need a Zach Edey type. He would be good.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about that same body type and even taller.
Yeah, I don't even know if you need.
So think about that. If you're talking about somebody that's, I can't remember what Zach Edey is, but he's
7'4".
Yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, how many of those players exist?
Well,
first of all,
he was like a unicorn,
right?
I don't need extremely tall like that. I just want some muscle. Just somebody can push or keep from getting pushed around. I can go and get you some good rebounds and the thick thing. Just, I imagine these Big Ten guys, that are like 6'10", 280, 270, maybe not that heavy, 250. But, I mean, they're just thick and strong, and they're not going to be pushed around. There are certain games you're going to need a guy like that.
And if they're that tall, they can carry the weight. It won't look like they weigh that much. If you're talking 250, 260, it's not going to look like they're heavy at 6'10", 6'11".
501 says we need a Bobby Portis. But Portis wasn't that thick at Arkansas. Now, the way he plays now is a little stronger. He's matured, gained weight, gained muscle. But at Arkansas, he was thin.
That's just a natural progression of life.
Sure. But there are those in college now that are thick and strong.
A few.
Corliss' size? Corliss' size, but a little taller. How about that?
Well, if you have the game to match it, you can be 6'7", 6'8", kind of like Thero. If you have the game to match up, then you can get away with it. But that's just not how they play.
870 says we need a couple of mid-major underclassmen, Kamani Johnson type transfers to go with all the 5 stars that they get. And that's the thing. Watching, heck, Vanderbilt had some nice players, and they were all from the portal. And I looked it up. Their coach was hired, Byington was hired, I think it was 10 days before Calipari. Had to do the same thing that Calipari did. Completely new roster, went out, hit the portal, and got a ton of portal guys.
Really, when you're hired, doesn't really matter either, because pretty much when a new coach comes in, most of the players are getting in the portal.
Yeah.
A large majority are getting in the portal.
You just want to get as much of a head start as possible to start picking out those portal guys and not be left with what's the leftovers. That could put you at a disadvantage. For example, you saw today where Miami hired Duke's assistant coach.
Yeah, and you know what? They announced that a while back, that he was going to be the guy, but it became official. So they already knew what was happening because it was pointed out on the broadcast when Miami and Duke were playing against each other. So that actually kind of, I'm sure that put him in a weird spot where he's sitting on the bench with Duke, knowing that he's going to be the head coach of the team right across from them.
From the story I read, he's gone. He's leaving Duke and going to work now at Miami.
Yeah, but this was
a couple of weeks
ago when they played. During the broadcast, they were saying, the word is he's the guy. He's going to be the next head coach at Miami, and they were playing against each other.
Well, but it makes sense for him to go now. I know it sucks for him to leave and for Duke and the players to leave on number 1 seeded team that's got a chance to win a national championship, but he's got to get to work for Miami, and that's exactly what we're talking about, the portal. He's going to have to go in and figure out who's going to stay, who he wants to stay, but then hit the portal to bring in a lot of players.
Yeah, you want to evaluate the team that's in place.
Otherwise, if he stayed with Duke, he may be coaching until like April 5th, after the national championship game, and then all of a sudden you're at a little bit of a disadvantage. Y'all are asking for a Shaq. I know, not.
How many of those guys exist?
Not necessarily, but there are plenty of big dudes out there that are strong, that aren't going to be pushed around. We need a Mitchell twin. I like the Mitchell twins. Yeah, he played tough, hard defense. Michigan State, Florida, or Duke will win the national title guaranteed. Michigan State, Florida or Duke. I would throw in Auburn.
We'll
but
have
if
to
you're
note that.
If you're going to make a guarantee, I'd throw in Auburn. I mean, for a team as good as the SEC is, to make a run through the SEC like they did, that's pretty incredible. Their conference or their non-conference schedule was good. Their conference schedule obviously great. But Duke, Florida, I wouldn't argue with you. Florida, I mean, to go on the road last night and get another road win at Alabama. Oliver Miller would be good, said 501. There you go. I like that. What every team needs is a Dennis Rodman, a rebounder. Yeah. Good stuff, guys. Thank y'all. Ooh, I got to take a break. We'll finish up the second hour when we come back. Hit more of the D3 Auto Sales text line. Open up the phone lines. You can call in 661-1037. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's only one dealer who gives you the convenience of 16 locations with 7 brands, over 5,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to shop. I'm, of course, talking about Crane Automotive Team. The Crane Team backs every vehicle with the Crane commitment, including a love it or leave it exchange policy and a 100,000-mile warranty. If your vehicle doesn't have the Crane Team Automotive Team sticker on the back, then you probably paid too much. Visit one of their 16 locations today or online at craneteam.com.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. If I only had a dime for every time I said the words, my dad used to say, I'd be a rich man. But his lessons in the auction business are still ringing in my head for every auction I do. Treat your buyers with patience and hospitality. Never forget the sellers are trusting you with their money and their legacy, and that each extra dollar you get for them at an auction is extra money for their family. All of those sayings keep the Blackman team working hard for you at every auction. For 3 generations and since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Thursday, Rick Schaefer and I are loading up the show. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Hogsports.com, Trey Biddy thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. NFL agent and guru Chris Turnage and the legendary coach Nolan Richardson thanks to Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poland. See you Thursday afternoon on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
All right, let's wrap this hour up. I did find that score. Lake Hamilton lost today to Valley View. 47-36 is the final score. And Steve let me know on Twitter, the freshman from Farmington we were talking about, I couldn't remember her name, Easton McCullough. Joe, she had 34 in the first. Easton McCullough.
Yeah, that's easy to remember.
Apparently not. I couldn't remember it.
I'm saying now that we hear it again, Easton.
I'll forget it. 34 in the first half. 34 points in the first half of her first state tournament game as a freshman. Ended with 36 after they threw some special defenses at her.
They must have been all about stopping her in that second half. Then
didn't work, or it didn't matter. Farmington got that win and moved on. All right, let's take a phone call. Rick is in East Arkansas. Rick, you won your bet the other night. I thought we'd hear from you yesterday after betting 100 on Arkansas and the 7 points.
Yeah, I did win that, but I'm just going to have to start listening to y'all about my parlays. I cannot. I'm going to have to listen to Brian and some of y'all's other guys.
Yeah.
I cannot hit I had Arkansas, and then I lose.
Yeah, parlays are hard to hit. That's why you get some great odds on them. You're not going to hit them every night. It's about hitting them every once. Every one out of 4.
Be honest. Be honest. I'm about 2-16.
Well, if you hit 1 out of 8, if the odds are good enough, you can kind of tread water. If you're, let's just say you're betting a $10 on a 3-leg parlay, it'll pay you $80-$90 depending on the odds, and so. You don't have to hit every one, just can't lose. It's like Calipari says. You don't have to hit every shot. You just can't miss every shot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, the main reason I called in is, man, I'm pretty pumped up about this raffle stuff.
It's a long way to go. Don't get too excited yet.
Well,
it's just out of the House committee.
Right. I know it's still, but at least it got through one chamber.
We'll see.
Hey, but if they do it online, I share my money around.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of questions about it, but I'm just we'll take it one committee at a time and see what happens.
So y'all
before I get too excited. No, I know nothing about it. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I don't know what's different about this one than the other one, and really until it gets a little further along in discussion, I really don't care. It's almost I'll believe it when I see it.
Gotcha. I thought that was a great what I read in the paper today.
Yeah.
And I thought y'all
encouraging that it'll happen.
Right. And I thought y'all might have a little insight for some people. I've been working in the garden.
We got some really good insight with R.J. Hawk, but I haven't picked up the phone to call him. He's kind of busy, and I'm kind of busy with the state playoffs too, so I haven't honestly.
Yes, sir. I listen to that too. Hey, thanks for everything, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. We will. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, I don't know if it was a good thing or not. We'll see. Hogs need a Ben Wallace. That may have been the best name. Ben Wallace.
Let's just build a fantasy team.
There we go. I'm not saying they need Ben Wallace. They need a Ben Wallace type.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, but those are dreams to have players like that.
Hey, Wes, I've been in therapy the last 2 hours. I was wondering if Brian Edwards sent you anything. Hope the therapy worked out for you, Maverick. Hope you're feeling better. We do. He has one pick for tonight after going 3-0 last night. It is UC San Diego. University of California, San Diego. They're giving up like 23.5 points, 24 points, but Brian says they're going to blow this team out. He gave me all this data. He thinks they're going to win by 30. So don't be afraid to lay that many points. He even said, I don't like laying a bunch of points like this, and I normally stay away from these games, but he felt so good that they're going to beat them by 30-plus that it's worth the money.
You don't like doing that in football, let alone basketball.
No. But this team they're playing is terrible, and it looks like they've thrown in the towel, and UC Davis is a good, really good team. Stick around. Hour number 3 is next.
At Staley Electric, we don't mind getting our hands dirty. That's just who we are. What started in R.E. Staley's garage in 1951 has grown to a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week residential, commercial, and industrial electrical company. From changing out a ceiling fan in your home to building a school in your community, Staley Electric will deliver the electrical solutions you expect and deserve. Visit our website at StaleyElectric.com.
Have questions about retirement, investments, or your money? Call our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Genwealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Bubba Carpenter joins Justin Acree and DJ Williams in the Zone every week this baseball season, presented by Johnston's Home Center in Benton. Johnston's Home Center, if they don't have it, you probably don't need it.
A lot of talk.
Why do you have to talk like that?
And a lot more attitude.
You have a problem? Turn off your station.
103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
The Arkansas Game and Fish Deer Program Coordinator says they've gotten an increase of complaints over the last few months of a deer overpopulation in the Little Rock area. The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says with areas sitting along the Arkansas River, when it floods, it pushes the deer inland, creating concerns for the health of the deer and the public. Now people living in the city are asking for something to be done, an urban deer hunt. AGFC says it cannot implement a hunt without the city contacting them to do so. The city of Little Rock says they are aware of the issue, but do not have a hunt planned at this time. The Arkansas Sports Raffle Act passed in a House committee Wednesday after the original bill fell short last month. It allows colleges and universities to conduct raffles at sporting events to raise money. This version of the legislation has some changes, including age verification. The bill will now head to the House floor. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Floyd's Seafood, Kill Avenue in Sherwood is your homesick Cajun headquarters. King cakes are in, live crawfish too. Place your orders by 2 p.m. Thursday for weekend boils. Floyd'sMeatandSeafood.com.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
Plenty of sunshine in store for your Thursday, and it'll be a lot less breezy than what we saw yesterday. And temperatures will be pretty seasonal for this afternoon. We'll warm up into the upper 50s and the lower 60s. Clouds will increase tonight and will be partly cloudy for your Friday. Winds will return, not as breezy as what we saw yesterday, and will warm up into the 70s. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny West from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
Lost in the business jungle? From new or solo proprietors to established multi-owner companies, don't monkey around with your business. There's nothing better than Lion Guidance. For exceptional communication and exceptional results, hire Lion Legal to come roaring to the rescue.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the PBR North Little Rock at Simmons Bank Arena, March 8th and 9th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
If you're like a lot of people I know, you're spending a lot of time at home this year watching basketball and other sports, and your home's your happy place. You may be noticing, though, the scuffs and faded colors on your walls, and that can drive you crazy. That's where CertaPro can help with a paint refresh. They can make your experience worry-free, starting with a free estimate. They're always easy, and they get you a quote right away. Schedule your estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. And each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJ Spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small, with a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free. We're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
HR services should be simple, reliable, and stress-free. As payroll companies merge, the attention to your business can feel less personal and more complicated. At the Payroll Company, we are proudly independent, offering an employee hotline and dedicated payroll specialists who know your business. Get HR services done right, reliable and accessible every time. Because you deserve a payroll partner who puts you first. No mergers, just white glove service you can rely on to help you hire, manage, grow. The Payroll Company. Visit morethanpayroll.com.
Oaklawn Sports presents Oaklawn Game Day. It's an inside look at the week's big games, exciting prop bets, and the latest betting lines from Oaklawn Sportsbook. Justin Acree and Oaklawn's Director of Sports Wagering, Zach Gillum, have all the information you need to place your bets at Oaklawn. Catch it on The Buzz Wednesday night at 8, and again Thursday mornings at 5:30 before Morning Mayhem. Oaklawn Game Day, presented by Oaklawn Sports on 103.7 The Buzz.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Who that thinking that he frontin' on that man? Get the off my stage. I'm the Sandman. Get the off my. That ain't right. I make a play blowing up your whole life. I'm so sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro on picture prime. Show me something natural. I want.
All right, my apologies. Sorry. Technical issues. Email not working. Buzz email. My other emails are working. That's weird, huh? I got 3 email accounts. One for Fox, one personal, one for the Buzz.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It can be, and I stay on top of it. I'm always checking emails, deleting emails, going through stuff. I'm not
good for you.
You know, when I see somebody that's got like 5,000 emails, that I'm like, oh God, no, that I can't. I go through. I'm swiping. I'm deleting all the time. And Justin was like, hey, you gonna return my email? I'm like, dude, I don't have anything from you. I just checked it, and for some reason, I'm not signed in to the Buzz account right now. Having some technical issues. So that's what we were doing. Been a weird day. I had to get up early this morning, get my eyes checked. It was my yearly exam. Mm-hmm. And good news, no change. No change.
That's always great.
Especially,
news.
as you get a little older, guys, you're going to see this. Some of you youngins out there, as you get older, your eyes deteriorate, and it's great news for the second year in a row I've gone. She's like, you don't have to change anything. You're good. You can keep your glasses. We'll keep the same contacts prescription. So I'm thriving. I'm not getting any older. My body's not getting any older.
There you go.
Knock on wood.
Hey, Kramer says no need to apologize. He was vibing to Kendrick.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a beef. The Zone is using one of Kendrick Lamar's songs as an intro, saying, "Now, welcome back to." I'm like, no, Kendrick Lamar is solely for Out of Bounds. I think we all realize that, and they should not be using our guy on a comeback. Well, it's not just normal comeback music. We all come back to different music, but this is one of those where it says, it's got the Shotgun saying something about the Zone, and stick around. Coming up next, it's the Zone with Kendrick Lamar playing, and I'm like, no, that's kind of like false advertisement. When you hear Kendrick Lamar, you think of Out of Bounds,
right?
And so they're trying to tap into our audience and the Kendrick Lamar vibe on the Zone now. So I got a problem with that.
Got to take it up with Christian.
Take it up with the head man. So I'm going to take it up with. Let's see. What were we about to do? I had several. We'll get to those. We got a lot on the D3 Auto Sales text line. That's been pretty good. Suggestions for big guys, type of big guys. Not necessarily that player, but just suggestions. Although there's some guy at Memphis they said we need to go get. I'm all about that. I mean, if they're going to tamper, we need to join the tampering game.
Oh, well, you say join. You don't think it's already happening?
I'd like to think Arkansas is better than that. But,
yeah, okay.
But when you look at the portal, I mean, they have had some success in the portal. But I don't know how much tampering is going on. But
but a lot of times it's the contact is initiated on the player's side.
Yeah.
Not by the player directly, but someone who knows that this player is looking for a change, a different environment, and then people talk from there.
Did you happen to notice Coach Calipari at the end of the Vanderbilt game?
Oh, yeah. He stopped a couple of players and really told them, hey, you guys you're tough. You had a really good game against us. Keep it up.
In my mind, I'm going, dude, he's planting the seeds.
You're always recruiting, always.
Yeah. I'm doing that. When they play these mid-majors and a guy goes off, you're like, hey, they got to be saying something to him after the game like, man, you got a nice game. I think you could probably play up at a higher level.
That's something that's always happened, though, where you see a player that had a really good game and you stop him and talk to him and just say, hey, man, you love your game. Just keep it going, whatever the case. That's always happened, but now it does look a little more suspicious when it happens.
Yeah, Coach went by and he stopped the little point guard, Edwards, that had the terrible game. And it looked like to me, it was like, are you okay?
Encouraging.
Yeah. Are you all right? Everything okay? You're going to be, and just like you said, encouraging him.
And then for some of those players that go off, you just want to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. You're a hell of a player.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Well, we saw Max Crosby sign the big deal yesterday, the biggest deal by a non-quarterback in NFL history. So Ian Rappaport, he talked about the deal itself, but also what that means for edge rushers and the market.
Max Crosby, highest paid defender, highest paid everyone who is not a quarterback, eclipsing Justin Jefferson. But the latest big deal, Crosby gets 3 years, $106.5 million, $91.5 million guarantees. That sets the new edge market at $35.5 million per year On an average basis, this is very good news for several of the edge rushers who are trying to get new deals. It's great news for Micah Parsons. It is great news for Myles Garrett. It is great news for Trey Hendrickson. And for every edge rusher in free agency, the market has just gone up a little bit. Rewarding your best players is something everyone in the locker room takes note of, right? I mean, for Max Crosby, it's been, I would say, sort of wait-and-see mode over the last couple years. He has wanted to win. He is committed to win. He has been through rebuild after rebuild, head coach after head coach. It's been tough. He has been a good soldier. He has been positive. He has done his absolute best. But I think he wanted some certainty financially, and then to know that this was a team that was going to compete quickly by not just the Raiders' offer to Max Crosby, and $35 million per year, but also the messaging here from the team. It is pretty clear that they believe and he believes they're going to compete very quickly.
One of the edge rushers mentioned in that statement there by Ian Rappaport, Trey Hendrickson, had a great year. Bengals last year. They have two dynamic receivers they're looking to get signed, possibly Trey Hendrickson. Bengals have granted Trey Hendrickson permission to seek a trade.
Oh, wow.
Because of the fact that they just can't pay everyone. It's just not possible to try to get the money lined up for all the players and the type of contracts they're going to command. So they've granted permission there for Trey Hendrickson.
Well, we're talking about defensive ends. How about Bosa getting let go? Was that a surprise, or was there rumors of that?
He's been injured, and whenever you've been injured and you've been off the field, you're owed a certain amount of money. That becomes a cap casualty, and just trying to save the team some money and possibly put that money into other positions.
Could be a steal for somebody else, or is he going to, because of his injury history, maybe somebody could sign him for a cheaper deal, or do you think he could still get not a $35 million type contract per year?
He can
What's
come
his
in,
value?
Yeah, he can come in and be productive for a team. Don't know exactly what a team would be willing to pay him, and if they would be willing to give him more than a couple years on a contract. It could be, let's say, Eagles. If they wanted to go get him and add to what they have going on, they have a history of saying to a player, hey, you want to win? We just won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
We want to keep this going, and let's do it for a year and see what happens. So you could see some scenarios with championship caliber teams where they'll sign him to a year. Cowboys defensive tackle Osa Odighizuwa, he spoke on new contract and Matt Eberflus.
I think getting that stressful part of the way as far as the contract is definitely awesome, a little bit of a relief. I think it's going to be a good offseason. I'm definitely ready to learn this new scheme. That's never something that I struggle with. I feel like I learn schemes fast. So being able to learn the scheme, get it down, and then be able to play the game within a game is going to be very fun. I think just from what I've heard, I haven't sat down and really looked at all the plays or gone into the playbook or anything like that yet with Flus, but I've heard good things about the way he uses three techs and the way he uses D tackles. So looking forward to that.
He had a pick in signing his contract. He signed this new contract, this extension. He had on a tank top.
Mm-hmm.
He signed his original contract in that same tank top. So it was just kind of a throwback feel. Sign that original, he signs that new deal, same tank top.
Yeah. Good for him. He was a popular player, and he was one of those with the lack of success from the defensive line. He was one of the few that shined, and it was almost like a priority for the Cowboys to sign him. They couldn't afford as many holes as they have to create another hole at that defensive tackle spot.
On the NBA, Dwight Howard, he was recently interviewed, and we always talk about how today's game is different and how it's evolved into what it is now. And speaking of that center position and some of those body types that we're talking about Arkansas could use, Dwight Howard spoke on physicality, how it's changed in this era of basketball.
I would say the practices of this era is different from my era when I first started. You had less injuries back then, but you had harder practices, you had more practices. And we kind of got ourselves in game shape and in the right state of mind by having these tough physical practices. So by the time we got to the game, it was easy work. But if you don't practice, you don't get yourselves accustomed to battle. When you get in the game, you just can't turn it on and off. And when I was there, there's a lot of times where I got reprimanded for being, too physical in practice. You're too physical with Joel. And I'm like, hey, I'm only being physical because he's about to get this in the game.
So there it is. You see it every level. These bigs, they play a little bit inside if they're coached that way, but they like to handle the ball. They like to be able to shoot outside and just play positionless basketball the way that they like to play it today.
It kind of reminded me of what that recruiting pitch we heard from Calipari years ago about how tough practices are for great players, because when you come play for me, you're going to be going in practice against great players. When you go to a game, it's going to be easier. And he told the guy, let's be honest, you're going to probably face somebody as great as you about 4 times this year. But if you come play for me, you're going to go against someone as great as you hundreds of times every single day in practice. You're going to have that.
That's what you heard from any player that played during the Nolan Richardson era. They said practices were always tougher than games. And they really enjoyed playing games just because those practices were so tough. But it did prepare them for the games, and the games were easy.
And that kind of shines a light on the problem with this year, how they've been so injured, a smaller roster, not enough guys to practice against each other, set them behind. Then they finally got going. Then another set of injuries makes me think, well, he's not going to do that again. He's going to load up and have more than 9 players next year.
LeBron keeps with the accomplishments coming along, and we saw where he just hit 50,000 points for his career. Regular season, postseason, everything combined. Stephen A. Smith says it's time to retire LeBron Jordan debate.
In the end, the greatness that he has put on display for as long as he has put on display, I'll even go a step further. Knowing how I feel about Jordan, and I think anybody that knows basketball agrees with me, I actually think it's time to not even have the debate anymore. Because that's how great LeBron James has been for as long as he has been that great. I can stand down and acknowledge that because this is absolutely phenomenal. But it's not the 50,000 points. It's not even the way he's looked last night. It's not even the way he's looked this month. It's the fact that I'm watching this brother with Anthony Davis, without Anthony Davis, with Luka, without Luka. I mean, this dude right here, and I'm looking at a guy at 40 years of age who's in better shape than 98% of the league, if not more, at age 40 in his 22nd season. LeBron James, especially on a morning like this, deserves all the props in the world, and I'm going to give it to him.
Also from college football, Oregon Ducks head coach Dan Lanning. Looks like he's going to get a new deal somewhere around $11 million per year.
After the season they had, pretty deserving. Mm-hmm. Get him up there in the upper echelon for the other coaches that were in the playoffs and making moves in the playoffs. So you want to keep him? Yeah, you're going to have to pay him. And Oregon has the resources for somebody like Dan Lanning. So not a big surprise there. Scores from the state tournament. It is halftime for some of these boys' games, the second game of the day. Bergman, Elkins. Elkins leads Bergman 21-15. Got to wonder how many of those football players for Elkins that played for a state championship game are playing for basketball too. 2A boys got Fordyce, Mount Vernon, Enola. Mount Vernon, Enola leads at 35-26. 1A, Earl beating Marvel Elaine 30-19. And 3, that's it. That's the halftime score so far. We'll get more of those halftime for the boys coming in just a minute. Let's go to the phone lines. We'll take some calls. Heath is in Cabot. Hey, Heath.
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
What's up, Heath?
Joe, do you see the treat we're getting from boxing?
Yes, yeah, Dana White, and kind of making that shift and bringing in some big-time fights.
Well, that, and I'm also I'm really referring
The
to
triple header.
What that, and we're getting Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano 3.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
I can't stand Jake Paul or his brother Logan Paul, but his promotional company's actually putting that on in collaboration with ESPN. I think July the 11th, and it's a record-breaking all-women's card. So it should be. I didn't see who else was listed, but they're headlining it. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, those two girls.
He's been great for Amanda Serrano's career too.
Yeah, I mean, if it's one thing he's done, it's and I think he's on board with some other fighters that are up and coming to do the same. So, which I mean, I totally respect that. So, and I mean, he's got the name and the PR company to do it. So, more power to him. But I just didn't know if you'd heard of that. I'm like, listen, in my opinion, Katie Taylor's probably the best woman fighter to come around in a long time. That girl just brings it. I mean, she not only is she a gifted, talented artist of the sweet science, but she's like a Gotti. If you damage her, all the skill goes out the window, and she's just falling. It's just fun to watch. So
right.
That's all I got, gentlemen.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks, Heath. I found another score. Hot Springs leading Valley View at the half, 36-25. That's up in the 5A tournament in Paragould. So good luck to the Trojans in the second half. They have a heck of a player. Jay Sean Hayes had 20 points in the first half. I think he had a game not too long ago, Joe, maybe 2 weeks ago. He had over 50 in a game. That's getting it in a high school game. 50 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about 32 minutes in a game. That's rolling in some points right there. We'll take a break. We'll check the D3 Auto Sales text line when we come back. We can take some more phone calls, 661-1037. We got 30 minutes to go, and we're out of here. Stick around. It is Out of Bounds.
Thompson Electric presents Jackson Wells each week in the zone with Justin and DJ. Thompson Electric since 1983, providing innovative electrical solutions for your business. To learn more, check them on the web at thompsonelectric.com, or you can search Thompson Electric on Facebook and Instagram for more information.
This is SportsCenter.
Arkansas baseball kept on rolling yesterday against Louisiana Monroe, finishing off Tuesday's game on a run rule walk-off grand slam from Kuhio Eloy in the 7th inning, winning that game 14-1 and then winning Wednesday's game 15-3. The Eloy brothers continued to bash as Vahivo Eloy went 3 for 5 in the first game and then 2 for 4 in the second game. Kuhio was 3 for 5 in the first game, then 2 for 4 in the second. The brothers lead the team in hits, Kuhio being first and Vahivo being second. The Razorbacks have not lost a midweek game since May 2nd, 2023 against Lipscomb at Dickey-Stevens Park. Arkansas will host Portland for a 3-game series that starts tomorrow. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
The Crane Automotive team presents the Drive Time Sports Triple Double. Randy has taken the show on the road, showcasing a different high school basketball game each week. The Crane Automotive team supports communities and high school athletics throughout Arkansas.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agent Dan Cook in North Little Rock, Becky Bradley in Sherwood, or Angie Collins in Heber Springs today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. We want to thank those who have decided to trust us with their banking relationship. Our customers recognize that true community-style banking is more than words. It's local decisions and friendly staff you know by name. Whether it's personal checking or lending on the most complex commercial project, Southern Bank can handle your banking needs with a personal touch. So what's holding you back? To start your banking relationship, visit one of our friendly branches, call us at 501-424-0900, or visit online at bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment presents Coach Nolan Richardson when he joins Randy and Rick on Drive Time Sports every week for Rollin' with Nolan. Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen. Find them online at ametrucks.com.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Yeah. And you say Shot City? Shot City, Shot City. I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Yeah. Do you think about me now and then? 'Cause I'm coming home again. I met this girl when I was 3 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. She said, "Excuse me, little homie, I know you don't know me, but my name is Wendy, and I like to." And from that point, I never blow her off. Come from out of town, I like to show her off. They like to act tough, she like to tone them off and make them straighten up their hat, 'cause she know they soft. And when I grew up, she...
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. Check the D3 Auto sales text line real quick. Wes, I agree with Stephen Smith. Time has come. James is the GOAT.
There's some people that will never let it go or never get to that point just because they feel the way they feel and they're not going to change no matter what happens. And there were some that held on to that with before they would give it to Tom Brady. And if it comes to a point where there's this Patrick Mahomes conversation, if it comes to the point where there's a thought that Patrick Mahomes is the best ever, there'll be some people that just won't accept that. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think this argument will ever be put to rest. It would take multiple championships, over the next couple of years. I'm talking like this year, next year, the next, maybe like 3 straight, something crazy like that. Because so many people
don't think it'll take that much.
Championships.
But no, don't think it'll take that much, but that's a matter of opinion. That's the way you feel, but I don't feel the same when it comes to that.
But isn't that the main argument why people say Jordan is better than LeBron?
Well, why don't they say that Bill Russell's the best ever? He has the most championships. And then why isn't Kareem mentioned? Kareem has the same accomplishments across the board that Jordan has. The 6 championships, the 5 MVPs, and he had the record for all-time leading scorer until LeBron just broke it. He's never mentioned.
Never.
So you can't just say it falls on one specific detail or championships. It's a combination of everything. And it still may not point to someone being mentioned as the best.
If LeBron wasn't such a flopper and a crybaby, I would consider him being the greatest. That's from the 870.
There's some people that just feel that way, and they're never going to change.
Yeah. Meat Pig, how do I follow the guy who posts his betting tips on Twitter? Vegas B, the letter B, Vegas B Edwards. Vegas B Edwards. Pretty simple. Yeah, it's worth a follow because he tweeted out last night and yesterday some of his picks.
Oh, by the way, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Kareem has 6 MVPs, thanks Sterling. So he has 6 championships and 6 MVPs.
What about the rumors of Stephon Diggs going to the Cowboys? Well, the rumor is
that
his brother's
may
leaving.
not be there,
Yeah.
so he may not want to go.
Yeah. Has there been any movement? Excuse me. That would ban. Has there been any movement on the bill that would ban player props betting? I hope not, because that would suck. I saw something in Washington, but I don't know. I don't know. I know that the argument to not ban it is the casinos, the books are a great watchdog to prevent things from happening. They're usually the ones who flag something, a mysterious bet, an unusual bet, and they keep an eye on it. Then they have a process of, once something's been banned, of letting everybody else know to keep an eye out for this particular prop bet or this bet, and that's how things are caught. And, if they get rid of prop bets, there'll be some others offshore, may not. And then, are they keep being a watchdog like they should? No. Click to view the image. Oh, my gosh. They sent me a picture. 13,385 mail in their box right now. That hurts. Kit and Little Rock, hey, fellas, we need a big man. But what they really need is a shooter. Straight money, Al Dillard, Tim Scott.
There's no
Cannon
doubt.
Whitby.
No doubt on that.
Marvin Dell for Pat Bradley. They need both. The problem with a shooter is Cal doesn't want just a shooter. He wants an athletic muscle man. That's why Malik Bunk, and he didn't work out well when he was at Kentucky. Yeah,
well, he was there for a year, so, I mean, he did what he wanted to do to move on to where he wanted to be.
Who's this guy at Memphis? Dana to transfer. That's Scott in Little Rock. I don't know him. I don't know if I've watched Memphis play this year. I heard the 2 Boozer kids are headed to Duke. They're from Miami, and the new coach was the main recruiter. That could affect Arkansas in the recruitment of Nate Ament. Yeah, I mean, if he was recruiting the Boozers to go to Duke, they're from Miami.
They can stay home.
And stay home and play for him.
Right.
And then maybe Ament doesn't want to go there, or maybe he does want to go there because the Boozers won't be there, and he would have more opportunity. I don't know. That is a good point, though. Who would y'all's top 3 big men of all time be at Arkansas? You got to start with Joe Klein.
Scott Hastings.
Oliver Miller.
And they were there at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big O. Man, I loved Moses Kingsley. He was so athletic. But he wasn't, like, huge. He was an undersized big man. Man, he was fun to watch. Stephen Hill. He could block shots. Never forget the shot he hit the SEC tournament to send them to the finals. It was in Atlanta the year of the tornado.
Mm-hmm.
He gets about a 15-footer, and I'm like, no. Oh, good shot. Oh, my God, they're going to win. Where'd that come from? That's a good question. Let's go to Ro. Hey, Ro.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Ro?
Hey, first of all, just real quick before I get to what I call about, you're looking for a big man in Arkansas, and you don't start the list with Bobby Portis. I don't think you're thinking correctly, especially with the way today's game played. Like, I understand giving respect to people like Joe Klein and Oliver Miller and stuff like that, but if Bobby Portis not that first selection, I think you're really just kidding yourself.
Well, Ro, you got to understand the discussion, how it all started. We were talking about a true big man with muscle. I'm tired of watching our guys get pushed around, bullied around. They need somebody with size, with meat, and that wasn't Bobby's game back then either. He was slender in college. That's how we got to this. A true guy, somebody an enforcer type.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you want that guy, he's coming off the bench in today's game. So I mean,
that's fine.
Because
you don't need him every game, Ro. I mean, they didn't need him against Vanderbilt, but they sure needed him against South Carolina. The Georgia game. There are a couple games where it would be nice to turn to that guy and go, "Hey, this is your game."
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you. You don't need. I mean, you give me a 6'7", 6'8" dude about 260, he'll get that job done. Yeah, but what I was calling about is the GOAT debate and the LeBron Mike debate. Okay, the number one issue when that debate is had is comprehension. Comprehension. A lot of people are not comprehending. It's two different discussions when you talk GOAT. It's your personal top five, and then it's the realistic top five. Okay? Now, my personal top five, my number one will always be Kobe Bryant. That's who I grew up with. I'm a Laker fan. I'm Kobe all the way. But when you ask me realistically, when I talk basketball, Kobe might not be in my top five. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't have that conversation. Now, you'll never have a true conversation about Jordan because you got a large selection of people who, before they talk about LeBron, the first thing they're going to say is something about China. And you got to know to X them out of the conversation immediately because it's not based in athletics or sports, period. And then you got the people who are around my age that they grew up watching Mike. They grew up where every media outlet, every person who wrote about him, even opposing teams, they only gloated about his greatness. Nobody ever talks about his failures. The only failure that's talked about is he got cut from the varsity team in 9th grade. You see, so you built up, and Mike, with his work, helped build this, but the media built up insurmountable, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not going to get past him. I don't care what you do. You're not passing Michael. Now, and I'll tell you this now, think about it. Like Joe just said, Kareem, 6 titles, 6 MVPs, leading all-time scorer, never discussed. And I personally don't like putting Biggs in that discussion because it's a different skill set. But let's fast forward to now. We got a dude that's playing into his 40s that scored 50,000 points, and we still have people that wants to talk about, well, he doesn't have the clutch gene, or well, he doesn't do this. So you guys are proving that there's nothing that anyone can do to pass Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now, my personal favorites, Jordan is number 2. I grew up watching the second part of his career when he won the 6 championships and won all those MVPs. I didn't watch the beginning part of his career when he had all his failures, but there are a lot of people who did, and most of them say, oh, it's Will Chamberlain, oh, it's Magic Johnson, oh, it's Kareem. So we're at the age where all the people who watched Jordan and wanted to be like Mike, they in control of things. Those are the voices you hear. You're not finna surpass people's childhood. You're just not. Even though you got a guy here with 50,000 points and he's not considered a scorer. And he's going to be top 10 in assists and rebounds also if he's not already there.
The other part of that row is whoever your guy is, you don't like the next guy. So
no, you don't.
That's just how it goes. That's a natural progression also where you mentioned somebody you grew up liking. Naturally, you're not going to like the next guy that they talk about. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason I can have an unbiased discussion about LeBron is because he came to my team. Before he came to the Lakers, I couldn't stand LeBron. But since he's been with the Lakers, like, of course, the Bron sexuals are annoying, but the haters are just as annoying, too, because you listen to the things that they cling on to, and you're like, are you serious? Like, listen to what you're saying right now. It's almost like when Tom Brady won his 4th ring, I stopped hating on him. I said, you know what? I can't continue to look stupid. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people need to remember what I said. You can't continue to look stupid. Just go ahead and acknowledge what you're witnessing. I know you're mad about it, but acknowledge it. Y'all take it easy.
Zero. So apparently somebody told me I might have to watch Memphis. This dude is he called him a badass and exactly what we need.
Well, why wouldn't he stay put? Like he's playing for Penny Hardaway, and if they can afford to keep him compensated
FedEx
the way he wants to, Why wouldn't he stay?
Wants to get to the league. Penny can't get him to the
You can
league.
get to the league wherever you are. If you're talented, they will find you.
Calipari get
I'm not
some of his
making
bigs
this
to call him.
Yeah, I'm not making this an Arkansas versus whoever. I'm just saying, in general, they'll find you if you have talent.
Earl says, Wes, I thought you said bet on Missouri instead of the over, and he missed it. Oh, no, it was team total Missouri over 82.5 points. Sorry, Earl. That's a bummer. I love LeBron. This is from G. Marsh. But he didn't change the game like Jordan. The dunks, the brand, everything. Guys doing, we've seen it before, just a faster pace. You know, that's part of what Rowe was talking about, too.
Not really, though, because if you look at the teams that LeBron has played on, before he's gotten there, they haven't been very good. After he left, they haven't been very good.
No, he's saying change the game.
That's part of changing the game. Though,
well, he changed the franchise.
You're changing franchises.
No, he changed the game.
Everywhere,
the league, not one team.
Everywhere you go, automatically you're giving that team a boost. That's changing. That's changing the league, because when he goes from east to west, that created a massive shift in the power that was in those two conferences.
But when one rises up, the other goes down. So it doesn't really change. It just changes where the power is. And one team gets better because he leaves, the other team gets worse.
Right. That's having an effect on the entire league.
But it doesn't change the game. Okay. That's the point he's making.
But
my whole point is Nike helped make Jordan. I mean, there's no doubt about it. When Rowe was talking about the media and building him up, hyping him up, it was Nike. That Nike money, the Nike ads. I mean, it just became an avalanche of great things from Jordan. That's what helped take him and boost him up even higher.
Well, the person you credit with that is his mom. His mom was the one that really made the push towards Nike, because Sonny's the one. But Jordan was all about Adidas. Yeah. And it was put to him and the family, like, you can go to Adidas and be just
another one of the guys.
Another one of the guys. Or you can go to Nike and start it and build it and be a part of something great. And I say Adidas, it may have been Converse, but because Converse is where Magic and Bird were. But Adidas was in the conversation also.
Hogfan James says, I'll take a Corky's gift card for winning this one. 22,666 unread emails.
Ooh.
But you don't win. Here's another one with 28,961 unread emails.
Unread.
28,000. Good Lord.
That's the other part of it. Not only are they in the email
unread
itself, but unread.
Ooh. I'm going to have to watch this Memphis dude, guys. I'm sorry. Diana? I don't know how to say his name, but if he's a badass, let's go watch him. LC. Rose sounds like he's been listening to Gilbert Arenas. Is that Gilbert Arenas' line?
I have no idea.
Matt says LBJ took 7 more years to pass Michael Jordan in scoring. It took him 7 more years to equal what he did. Joey, y'all stirred it up. Emphasize the key to me. That's it. I see what you said, Joey. LeBron is the most hated, loved player in the NBA.
It could be something to that.
Yeah, I agree.
But also, when those things are thrown out about the amount of time or whatever, look what he's doing at this age. Like, Jordan played at this age. He didn't play like this at this age.
I was stuck on Draymond Green. Draymond Green could be hated more, but he's not loved nearly as much as LeBron. So you're right. If you take both sides, the love and the hate, probably right. What's up, Corn Dog?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Corn Dog.
All those basketball players you've been mentioning, I respect all those players. They were, great, but I don't know how you can mention all those players and not mention Larry Bird. Because, I remember talking to Nolan on drive time one evening, and I know y'all probably both seen the video when he got elected to the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When he was listening to the game on the radio.
Yeah, he's listening to it. Man, that brother, who is this brother Bird? Man, he's good. Everywhere I hear, Bird is, you know. I mean, he shot left-handed one time and scored 45 points.
Joe Klein, I think it was Joe, retweeted a video of Bird the other day, and it was just passes only. That's it. And it was the title of the video was people forget how great of a passer he was. You think of Bird and the scoring and stuff, and the passes. Yeah. It was incredible. It was just fun to watch.
Well, another little piece of trivia. You know, he was talking about the guy that called in earlier. I forget his name now, but he was talking about Jordan early in his career. You know, he was scoring 60-something points and losing because he didn't have Pippen. He didn't have a team around him. But he faced Bird 6 times and lost all 6 times. So,
well,
anyway,
I'll tell you, Cord Dog, I'm a huge Bird fan because I grew up. That was my guy growing up. You know, I wore 33. That was my guy. But I don't think he's the greatest player. Now, I'll fight you about he's top 5. I'm not moving him out of the top 5. I'm being stubborn about it.
Right. But, if it wasn't for his back problems, I think he would have. Yeah, that's what killed him. You know, and so he had. But I remember when he was coach at Indiana Pacers. They tell a story. There's all kinds of stories out there, and there was a loose ball that got away, and I think Reggie Miller was on that team, and he's in a suit and you know, dress shoes and all that. The ball, they're just shooting around or whatever. And ball gets away. He picks it up about half court and shoots it and goes in. So,
Cord Dog, thanks for the memories. That's
all
cool.
Right, see you, buddy.
Later.
All right, Tiger sent an image here. He says that nobody has him beat. 196,396.
That's the new leader in the house. I found one over here. Someone sent me 69,000, and then there's one with 73,000. That was my leader. 73,287 unread emails.
196,000.
I mean, granted, 99% of that is trash, but come on, don't you worry that there's something in there that you've missed, you know, that needs to be responded to? I gotta turn the air down. I'm sweating in here thinking about all that. We'll take a break. Oh, we gotta go. That was a fast hour. We'll wrap it up when we come back. Thanks for all the calls, texts. That was good. It's Out of Bounds.
The electric cooperative's got its start lighting Arkansas, and we continue to meet that demand with every resource we can deliver. We're powering your life where you live every single day through one of 17 local cooperatives, each unique, always united, and in your community. Our mission? To provide reliable, affordable, and responsible power to every corner of Arkansas. It's the local hometown cooperative way, because we're better connected together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Right now, get 2.99% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Santa Fe, Tucson, or Elantra. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Are you ready to take your classic car or vintage 4x4 to the next level? Look no further than Overland Auto Restoration in Cabot. Our team of restoration experts have decades of experience in preserving the beauty and heritage of classic vehicles for our clients all across the country. From modern mechanical upgrades that enhance performance to new upholstery and paint, Overland ensures every detail is handled with care and completed right on time. Call Overland Auto Restoration in Cabot at 501-246-4372 or visit overlandautoworks.com and let us get your classic ride back on the road, looking and driving better than ever.
They say you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and that's your home and your business. So if your business needs a touch-up, call CertaPro Painters and let them handle the job for you. They provide excellent workmanship, quality, and a worry-free process for both residential and commercial spaces, all at the right price. You've got to focus on your business. Let them focus on your painting. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Get your estimate scheduled today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spraying. Or stop by 65th and University.
Hi, my name is Nita Freeman, and I'm the marketing director for Chris Crane Hyundai, and we sure appreciate our partnership with the Buzz. We love their packages. They give us a lot of added value, and they are willing to go above and beyond to do anything that they need to do to make our partnership successful. They're just a great partner. They bring a lot of business to our store. Our customers always tell us that they hear our ads on the Buzz. If you want to really get some good bang for your buck, call Robert.
For more information on advertising, call me, Robert Davidson, 501-744-1279.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Gwatney Chevrolet has some great things happening in the month of March. They ended February with a bang, and now they got all kinds of great used vehicles. And they got good deals on it. If you're looking for something a little cheaper, smaller payments per month, check out the used car inventory at Gwatney Chevrolet. Go to the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com, and know when you trade in the vehicle you have right now, they're going to pay you top dollar for it. Some of the vehicles out there, they're giving up to $2,000 off Kelley Blue Book. They want to make this deal happen, and they want to make it sense for you. Nobody wants to drive around in a car with a bad note, a car they don't like. So let Gwatney Chevrolet take care of you. And if you're looking for new vehicles, they got a ton of Silverados, Trax, Suburbans, Tahoes, the Blazer, Trailblazer. Website has it all. They have all the deals that are going on right now. Head on over to the website, check it out, and then go to the James Street exit in Jacksonville and go see our friends at Gwatney Chevrolet. Westmore and Joe Franklin finishing up on a Thursday afternoon. Some good news from the state tournament for some local teams. Pottsville in a nail-biter beat Nashville 72-70. Congratulations to the Apaches. And Hot Springs Trojans knock off Valley View 61-53. They had a nice lead, and then Valley View came storming back and had a couple of key buckets down the stretch, and Hot Springs holds them off, and they advance to play Maumelle. Is that right? I don't have the bracket in front of me. Ooh, that would be a good game. I know tonight Benton and Little Rock Christian Academy play. Benton has been number one in the state pretty much all year, and Little Rock Christian Academy, the defending champs.
That will be big.
That'll be a great game. J.J. Andrews.
Quarterfinals?
Tonight starts the quarterfinals, yeah. Then they'll play Saturday the semifinals, and then take a break, and then the state tournament. They are the state championship. The finals are next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Went to Buzz, too, while you were taking a break. Don't do that. You got to listen to our commercials. That's the way we make money. Don't be flipping around. And Paul is talking ticket prices and how they're outrageous. Plus, add food, drinks, parking. It adds up quickly. I would have to agree. Yeah, it's expensive, and it's not coming down. I mean, that's the world we live in, unfortunately. And they got to raise more money, So it's not like ticket prices are all of a sudden going to come down. The Razorback Foundation was in Little Rock, was it yesterday, day before yesterday, meeting with those season ticket holders for basketball, trying to explain the new donation levels at Bud Walton Arena and how people are going to be moving around if they don't increase their donations. But it's all in a way to raise more money. coming up tomorrow. We got Mark the Magician kicking things off because they'll be back running at Oakland tomorrow. Then Steve Sullivan, 2:10. Neil Atkinson at 2:30. Brian Edwards. UC San Diego tonight. They're giving up a ton of points, but Brian has faith. He went 3-0 last night, and I'm riding with Brian.
We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Joe, have a good night.
You too.
Have a great night, everybody. Stick around. Drive Time Sports is next.